Come here. I know my mic is hot. Come here. Ain't a fucking brat. Hey y'all, Jim here. So this is take two. I had a boomer moment in my last attempt at a live stream, but today I'm going to be kind of posing the question. Hopefully I will get some feedback from the audience, in whatever way, into what should I do with in terms of my YouTube channel. For those of you who didn't pay attention to my last stream, which was a lot of people, which is fine. I'm not out here chasing views. I'm out here spreading ideas. What I said in my last video is that I ended up having to make an abrupt move to Texas, finally back on my feet, decided to start getting back into the streaming thing again. And then I realized, like, wait a minute, you know, it has been a while since I checked into my YouTube channel and what's going on with the strikes and everything. And they're all clear. I don't know if I'm in the clear, but it's definitely all clear now. I still have that warning. That warning is probably going to be there. I don't, indefinitely, I don't know. There's no indication that YouTube will ever take away warnings. I don't think they will. They don't say that they do or they don't anywhere, and YouTube is super secret about all that kind of stuff anyway. There's been a couple times where I've had things flagged. I'm like, why the hell was this flagged? And I would ask them, and they were like, we don't We don't give answers to questions like that. Well, thank you. That's extremely helpful. But anyways, so I'm going to go through my YouTube channel today, and we're going to go through some of my older videos and re-enable a lot of them. There's going to be a lot of videos that I'm just not going to re-enable. Anything that has to do with race, anything that has to do with immigration, anything that has to do with defending cops, anything like that. We're just going to keep that off the table because that's just going to get my channel banninated again, or at least struck again. Anything involving Molyneux, I'm not going to say everything that involves Molyneux. Obviously, there's anything that has to do with the DMCA, I'm going to put back up. Anything that has to do with like his philosophy, like UPB or something, I'm going to put back up. Unfortunately, I went through because someone asked me, because they were a fan of UPB and they were wondering about my views on it. I was like, oh, I did an 8-hour live stream about UPB, and we went through the whole entire audiobook. I should link you to this. And I went on my Odyssey because I was just, of course, I have that up on my Odyssey. Nope, it's not up on my Odyssey. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Maybe it's up on my BitChute. Nope, it's not up on my BitChute. Okay, well, where could it be? Maybe my YouTube channel. Maybe I'll just, make it just unlisted. And I went and checked, and it's gone. I cannot find it anywhere. I tried checking in my live folder, and I was like, maybe it pre-existed the segregation of live and just regular uploaded videos. Nope, it's not there either. Huh, interesting. I think it's completely gone. I even went and checked some of the backups that I make of my YouTube channels, which I don't make backups of everything, but I just make up backups of things that I want to save. And it's not there either. So I'm just thinking that maybe this video is just gone, and I might have to go through UPB again, do another 8-hour live stream where I go through the entire book again, and just do that again. Oh, I think that's what I'm going to end up having to do, which should be fun. Give me an excuse to do something interesting. But honestly, I want to know if there's any videos that you want me to reinstate. I will reinstate them. We're going to do this. We're going to try to give my main YouTube channel one more go. And if I get another strike, in a reasonable, let's just say if I get a strike before the end of the year, I'm just going to go back to Not Jim Jesus. So you should subscribe to that channel just in case anything happens, because I'm not even going to announce it. I'm just going to drop everything and move. I'm not even going to waste my time. But definitely the ESO video is going to stay up because that's a classic. The ESO and David Friedman video, that's going to stay up for good. So I have my YouTube video list up right now. Here, let me bring my chat window over here so that way I can see if anybody suggests any of my videos. That way I can reinstate them. Any of my desert bus streams, there's no point in bringing those back. I'll probably just unlist those if anything. So I know that definitely, because I know that there's one person that likes to go back and watch it every so often, is I did an 8-hour election live stream in 2016. So we are going to, by the way, I need to apologize right off the bat. For some reason, if you have a video that's been privated for any amount of time, YouTube, and when you make it public, YouTube will treat it like it's a brand new video. It'll still say published by, well, at least that's what it used to do. It'd still say like published in April, whatever, 2017 or whatever, but it'll show up in everybody's news feed. So I'm sorry if you guys get news feed bombed. And by the way, do tell me if you're starting to get like stuff in your stream, and maybe I'll dole it out slowly over time instead of just doing it all at once. And I can just unlist the ones that I know that I want to be put back up, and then slowly put them back up again. So let's do the election stream first, because that one's probably the oldest one that I know right off the bat that I know someone wants me to reinstate. So we'll just do that and hope for the best. There's probably a good way for me to check this. Let me open up another web browser TM. Let's see, not now. No, actually, I didn't choose you. Firefox, I actually went away from you. I don't use you anymore. Oh, so I guess there's another Kyle Rittenhouse trial today, which I am missing. Which I have watched all of them except for day one. I've watched all of it so far, and wow, we can talk about that. Oh. I definitely do want to talk about that a little bit. I do want to just reinstate some more popular some of my more popular videos. So let me check my subscriptions now that I. Oh no! I don't think I did make that. Wait a minute. This is Firefox. Okay, so yeah, let's save it. Let's go to YouTube. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be bombing my subscribers with a bunch of stuff, cram their stuff. Because I hate when the Mises Institute does that. I actually unsubscribe from the Mises Institute and I just go back there and check them regularly. Okay, so it's not going to do that. At least not with stuff 2016 and after. So the Mises Institute they'll do their Mises University, and they will put the entire schedule out for everything that they're about to do. So they'll have like 10 talks a day for like an entire week. And there'll be like 70 videos just clogging up my subscription feed every single year. And it just got to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I just keep scrolling past all these proposed Mises lectures that were going to, it's like, just leave them unlisted. And then when you're about to do it, make them public, or at least the day of, do the 10 in the day that you're going to do. But no, I have to get them like 2 months prior, and I just have to scroll through them every single time that I want to check my subscriptions on YouTube. All right, so here, let's get out of the live stream folder. Let's go straight for the other ones. So votes are aggressive. That one should. Well, I don't know. That one can get me in possibly some trouble because I did say that I was going to vote for Donald Trump. Let's hope for the best. All right, so we're going to make that one public. Let's see what else we got. The Zeitgeist movement. Let's make that one public. None of the Lulbert stuff, because that Lulberts are always going to go up on the other. Which, by the way, I need to talk to Drew. Drew, if you're watching this maybe later. For some reason, I tried to connect my Lulbert's channel to Odyssey, and it is still processing. And it's been like a month and a half or something ridiculously long. Left Libertarians, public. I think all of my dancing baloney videos I'm going to make public. So opposing the collapse, the agorist video. Actually, I'm not going to do that one because I actually don't agree with that one anymore. The Hitler one. Was Hitler a socialist or a capitalist? No, I'm going to keep that one private. I have that up on my backup channel, which is, I think, jimjesus.back. The Libertarianism for Babies. I'm going to make that one public again. Question the Nap as a libertarian. And now let me go back into my other browser and make sure that, again, I'm not clogging up the feed. Okay, so we're good. Looks like we're good so far. Do another quick refresh just in case. Adam Ragusier. Oh, Adam Ragusier got COVID? That's a fucking bummer. Hope he's okay. Never forget 9/11. The Federal Reserve Lulberts. Yeah, we got to have that one back up. Of course, ANCAP Bransona meme. Next page. Yeah, anything that has to do with Stefan Molyneux. Here's one. Defu rebutted, where I actually go after one of his philosophies about defooing. I'm going to reinstate that one because that one, the Molyneux videos that I have trouble that not really so much trouble. The Molyneux videos that I have issues with putting back up, or at least fear of putting back up, are the ones where he is talking about race, immigration, or police brutality. Those are the ones that I'm going to be a little bit hesitant to put back up. Kurt Doolittle, this one's actually in the clear. This one actually was flagged down and restored. That's probably who's been going after me. It was actually a ass mad fucking propertarian, because those guys, they get really mad about me. And especially now, since Kurt Doolittle is completely fucking irrelevant, they're really mad. And I have some partial blame to do with it. He destroyed his own movement, but I did not help. Once he pissed his pants, I did not make things a little bit better. All right, so one brand of deodorant. Why I'm a libertarian. Doxing or taxation isn't theft. That is a video that I need to bring back. Is doxing is not theft. That was one of the things that always bugged me. Here, let's get rid of this so that way I can. One of the things that always bugged me is, like, libertarians would just presume that doxing is some sort of violent action, and it's not. If you're gonna say, like, hey, you should go out and, like, hurt this guy. He lives at 2329 Ever Terrace Drive or whatever. Then yeah, that is actually a threat, but it's not the releasing of the information of where that person lives. That's the violation. It's the call to action. It is the action that is, like, calling people to commit violence against someone. It's a threat, right? The releasing of someone's information. I mean, you don't own your information. We could go down this whole, like, rabbit hole of intellectual property, and you don't own the letters and numbers that make up your address or your social security number or anything. You can't own all that stuff. Like, it's unownable thing. And especially if you're a libertarian who opposes intellectual property, and to turn around and then say, oh yeah, but doxing is violence. It's not. You're just releasing information. It's just information. There's nothing attached. And now, if you're calling for violence, obviously not. And a lot of the times when people start complaining that this is like some sort of violence or whatever, 99 times out of 100, it's just someone saying, like, fuck this guy. I'm gonna make him miserable by releasing his info. Or, something along those lines, or, just shitbags on the internet doxing people. It's never followed by, hey, go kill this guy, or go hurt this guy, or I'm going to get, here, Antifa. Like, it's never anything like that. All right, so taxation. So bad mouse. I don't even know why I'm re-putting all this stuff about bad mouse production up either, because bad mouse productions is pretty much gone. I think not pretty much, is gone. The NAP is not compelling. I'm going to put that one back up, which the against me argument, there's another Molyneux video. I'm not a big fan of the against me argument. I think it's really kind of dumb. I think there's some value in it in terms of just, like, if someone has a hard time understanding, like if someone is just trying to accuse you of being violent for wanting less taxes, and you're like, well, hold on, let's talk about, what you're supporting if you want to talk about violence. I don't think it's a very compelling argument. I think it's right up the lines with, oh yeah, definitely the Kokesh, truth about Kokesh. It's right along the lines of, like, liberals trying to say, like, oh, you just want, old people to die in the streets. It's that kind of argument, but just for libertarians. Let's see, Tom Woods and their critics. Really kind of don't see the point of putting that one back up. That one was really topical at the time. It's not really relevant now, and he doesn't have Molyneux on his show anymore. No one really cares about that ESO video anymore, so we're going to keep that one. Actually, I want to keep private. I'm only keeping that one up for like 2 or 3 people that remember this video. I'm not even going to say who it's from or mirror of. Let's go back to the Godless Cranium videos. We got to put those back up. Oh, the banners for the revolution. I'm not going to put the 60-second version up because I only made that to someone was like, you should make these 60 seconds. And I just took the video and just sped it up. And so it was exactly 60 seconds. This one I'm going to put back up because for some reason I still see people to this day that try to argue that, you know, if the state didn't exist, Google and Facebook would be out of money because they get all these subsidies. Look at this subsidies chart that says that they got like, what is it, like 300 or, you know, like a couple like tens of millions of dollars, or I can't remember how much it was. And they get that every year. And it's like, no, this is, if you read the thing, it says like, this is over the span of the last 10 years. And if you actually look at like Facebook's and Google's profits, they're like in the billions per year. Like this is like chump change to them. They're basically, and all of those things are just like tax breaks or tax incentives or tax rebates. They're not like, here's money in a paper, in a cloth sack with a dollar bit sign on it. It's not that at all. Like these companies make billions of dollars, and unless they do like contracts with the government, which I'm sure they do, that is not disclosed. They're making all kinds of money from ad revenue. Like it's ridiculous the amount of money that YouTube gets. Not YouTube. YouTube is actually a loss leader for them, but Google makes in AdSense. It's ridiculous the amount of money they get, and all that stuff's public. Like because they're a publicly traded company, they release all their financials. Vulpine deity eats an eye booger. We're gonna skip that one because no one cares. YouTube should have banned Molyneux. I'm gonna put that one back up because that one actually gets people that Russell's. Big Brain Ransona revolutionizes economics. Of course, I'm gonna put that one back up because that one was fucking hilarious. And I know that Lazy Titan is gonna be happy that that one's back. Let's see. 9,000 penises. We're going to put that one back up as public, actually. And some of these ESO videos I have to kind of either unlist or whatever because they are linked on esotericinity.com for reference. So a lot of these are going to have to end up staying back up. So let's do... Oh, I already have that. I'll just keep that one unlisted because it's not really... The Tsar Bomba, that one needs to... Libertarian Infighting. I'm going to put that one back up because I think libertarian infighting is important to an extent, right? If you're just going to go after, if it's going to be like something like Fakertarians where they're just going after people and calling people Nazis and calling people racist, most of those claims are completely unfounded. They can go fucking die in a fire. Like, I really do hope that all of those people die in a fire, and including the meth head. Those people are fucking like scum of the earth. Like going after like Tom Woods. Like, okay, so Tom Woods was involved with an organization which is now considered a hate group, which even the SPLC website says, wait. Before we get into this, back in the day, it was okay. They were just kind of like Southern, like a Southern political group, but then there was like a whole management takeover, and now they're actually like designated a hate group, and all the people who were involved with it originally have left. So just because someone was involved with it in the 90s, don't assume that they're bad people. It even says this on the SPLC website, and still these Fakertarians will pass around like, oh, look, Tom Woods was involved with this hate group. And it's like, it wasn't a hate group. Read your own fucking sources, you fucking retard. So yeah, going after them is it's just absolutely absurd. But to be like, hey, you know, Peter Quinones is wrong about fucking violating the non-aggression principle, fuck, you know, that's fine. These are how ideas spread. And this is how bad ideas get fucking weeded out and how good ideas fucking live on. So let's see. ANCAP Civil War, all that stuff's completely over now, and nobody cares. And no one even cares about anybody involved anymore except for Dapperton. Oh, you're a homo? Yeah, actually, it's one of my more popular videos. That video actually has 23,000 views. Not bad. Godless Cranium video. Of course, we're going to put that one back up. Nothing about Richard Spencer is going back up. Oh, Ex Omniverse is a big, dumb is a big dumb stoopy head. I'm gonna put that one back up. It's a filthy statist. This one I had my scraggly little chin beard, my goatee. The Shane Killian problem. Public. Definitely putting that one back up. I know a lot of people were asking me about it, which, I mean, it was still there. It was just unlisted. None of the Lolbert stuff. Oh, this is the video that triggered Godless Cranium. I'm gonna put that one back up. Let's put that one back up and this one back up. This is the one where Esoteric Entity was deleting comments. I caught him deleting comments, and then once I showed evidence of him deleting comments, he fucking hid everything. Tried to hide everything. The original Truth About Kokesh, we're going to put that one back up too. Curb Your Classical Liberalism, a joke that I stole from Freedom Tunes, which he thought was funny that someone edited that. I'm not going to put anything up with Charlottesville, even though it's critical of Charlottesville. I'm not going to put that one back up. Molyneux about e-begging, we're going to put that one back up. Democratic Socialism 01 makes another video. Of course, I'm going to put that one back up. No, You're Like Hitler. I'm going to put that one back up, obviously. That one's a classic. Okay, so here's the one that I have a question about. So I did a video about Molyneux's review of Wonder Woman, which I think except for the end fight and the big spoiler at the end, excuse me, I thought that was a good movie. The big final fight at the end of that movie is really kind of, it's not bad. It's just kind of like, oh my God, really, that's really like low effort. But the rest of the movie was really good. And he did this video talking about how it's anti-men because they constantly talk about how men destroy the world. And it's like, they're not talking about men as in like person with a penis. They're talking about men as in like mankind. They're like talking about man, not men, man as, as a species. And the reason they were talking about man being bad was because they're not human. They were fucking some sort of like god creatures or something, some other creatures. I don't remember exactly because I can't be bothered to watch the movie again. It's not great. It was just good. I thought it was great. Well, not great. I thought up to the very final battle was great, and the final battle made it just good. I thought it was kind of an interesting movie, but he was like shitting on it, like this is like feminist propaganda, and I was like, this movie's stupid. But there was a part at the very end, I think, there was stuff about race realism in there. Nope, not putting that one back up. Nope. I'm gonna re-upload the Jack Fresco video, which, by the way, here's what's interesting. Like, I will still get messages. Well, I haven't since I took everything down from my channel, but occasionally I would get messages from like angry zeitgeisters, and they would be mad that that I would claim in the comment section that the zeitgeist movement doesn't exist anymore. It's dead. And it is dead, as evidenced by, just it being dead, right? And like no one giving a shit about it anymore. But I'll get a comment like once every like 2 months by some zeitgeist who was like, "No, what are you talking about? We're more popular than ever." And it's like, if you go back to 2010, like there was not a YouTube video that was even remotely political that if you didn't scroll down the comments, there would be like 5 or 6 comments from people saying, "Hey, have you heard about what do you think about the zeitgeist movement and the resource-based economy?" And like it was everywhere. And then after the whole Fresco and Peter Joseph thing broke off and they were fighting, after that happened, like everybody just fell off and no one cared anymore. It was only just kind of like a small trickle until it died. But But when Jock Fresco died, he died in 2017. When he died, like, there was no videos on YouTube for like a couple days. I was the first person on YouTube to make a video about his passing, and I was a critic. All these sycophantic people who love Jock Fresco didn't even notice. Or if they did notice, they just didn't care because they were over it. Most people were completely over it. So we're going to put that one back up. It just kind of shows you how fucking dead that movement is. It's like the intellectual founder of the, like, could you imagine, could you imagine if like Marxists, like if Marx was alive today, or not alive today, but died today, and for like 3 weeks or like a couple days, no one made a video acknowledging that he died. And then for like Marxists to turn around and be like, oh no, we're a relevant movement. No, like if Marx has died, there'd be videos uploaded like within the hour, thousands of videos just like simping for this fucking monster. But no one cared about Jock Fresco, and Jock Fresco is not a monster. He was a plagiarist at the end of the day. Like, not to shit on the dead, but he was basically a plagiarist. He basically took Marx's ideas and was like, hey, let's just repackage them for an American audience, since America is like deathly afraid of communism for good reason. Let's just repackage it and make it about like robots. And in lieu of actual having like philosophical reasonings why we believe what we believe, we're just going to say, oh, don't worry, technology's going to fix it. Like, oh, you have this the economic calculation problem. Well, we'll just build a stronger computer and it'll calculate it. Don't worry. It's like, no, whatever. But anyways, yeah, he died and no one cared, and not even the people who were involved with the Zeitgeist movement cared, and no one bothered to upload a video. But yeah, I am told that the Zeitgeist movement and the Venus Project they're still going, man. People still like that stuff. His ideas will live on. It's like, you didn't even care when he died. Whatever. I am going to re-enable one Lolberts episode. And the Lolberts episode I'm going to re-enable is the one I did with Ben Stone. Ben Stone is awesome. He's like a hardcore napper guy, and I'm not. But for all intents and purposes, I am. But Ben Stone is he's a great guy. And if you have not gone through and listened to some of the Bad Quaker podcasts, do yourself a favor and go find it. There's archives of him still up. I think his original website is still up, especially his series on the founding of the United States. Fucking great stuff. And he just tears to shred all of these kind of like boomer views on the founding fathers and how great they were, because they weren't. They were very flawed people, and they had very flawed views, even about the good things in the Constitution. They also had some very flawed views on, and not just with slavery, but with a whole other thing. You really need to do yourself a favor and listen to some old, because a lot of those episodes are completely evergreen. He's been retired for quite some time now, but man, that stuff was just, I can't sing the praises enough. Ben Stone is great. The triumphant return to Sauce. I should just re-upload that just completely so that it shows up in the news feed. Which, by the way, let's check this just to make sure that I'm not peppering everybody's subscription box with garbage, old garbage. Nope, I'm not. We're good. Let's see. SJWs and the Modern Savages. I'm not going to re-upload that one because I don't want to remind people that Garrett was even a person. That guy was fucking retarded. Or, restarted. He was going to restart his channel, and he didn't. So he is restarted, but not restart. He didn't restart. He just was going to restart. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I would never. I would never use that term. Let's see. I'm going to put that one back up, even though it's kind of mean to Macy Tomlin. I'm going to put that one back up because it's not directly mentioning her. But even though someone did take down my GoFundMe, the GoFundMe link to that, but I don't care because I wasn't trying to get money from it. I was just trying to make a satirical video about someone e-begging to be a shaman. I'm not going to do anything around Pinochet. New channel direction. Definitely going to keep that one back up because I know that Dapperton loves that video and he's probably mad that that video is gone. Dear White People. So I remember there was a video that Stefan Molyneux did and a bunch of other people did when Dear White video was first, the trailer for it first dropped on Netflix, a Netflix show titled Dear White People, and it was very provocative and it was very much kind of like SJW anti-white kind of thing going on. And then I was like, okay, that seems provocative. I know how trailers work and it's supposed to, you know, grab your attention, and what's a better way to grab your attention than to insult some people. So I looked into like, okay, what is this Dear White People about? And it was like, oh, it's a TV show of an actual movie. And I was like, well, how come nobody ever talked about this movie? If this trailer is so anti-white and so, you know, SJW-y, like how come, and it only came out like a couple years before, how come nobody ever mentioned it? Like nobody ever talked about it. So I went and watched it and it was actually good. I don't know about the show. I have not seen the show. Maybe they changed the show. Maybe it is bad. I don't care to watch it, and I don't care. But I went to watch the original movie, and it was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. And the basic thesis of the movie was there was this kind of girl who was on like this college radio show at her college, and she was doing the typical SJW stuff. White people are evil, whatever. And spoiler alert, it turned out that she didn't really believe any of that stuff and she was just doing it to get attention, and she was actually half white and dating a white guy. And, you know, the white guy was trying to convince her like, hey, you know, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Like, this is probably not the right thing to do. And he ended up convincing her at the end of the movie that, you know, she should walk away from all this, especially all the chaos that ensued because of her actions. So I imagine the show, if it was going to be just basically a serialized version of that, would be no different. It's like these people were raising a big fuss about a trailer and they had no idea what they were talking about. So I made a video about it. I'm not going to upload videos that are regarding that sort of thing because I don't want my channel taken down again. And considering that they're going to go after me for sexual content on my channel, which is just Ben Affleck telling people it's fictional characters while holding a basketball completely clothed, even long sleeve. This is ridiculous. We're going to skip over the Intellivision stuff and Dapperton and Thunderfoot stuff. Don't care. Trump, no. Oh, the Libertarian cringe. This one's a classic, by the way. This, I had found this blog. He had since taken the blog down. But I had found this blog where it was just like this libertarian guy, and he was kind of cringy. But he did like this thing where he was talking about how he wasn't going to masturbate anymore. He wasn't going to masturbate anymore. And he was actually not going to expel his seed until he finds a woman. It was basically a plea from a complete incel. And I did a reading of it in my Jeff Riggenbach voice. So we're going to put that one back up because that one was fucking hilarious. And I remember there was some girl that I used to talk to, some libertarian girl that I used to talk to, and she sent me that video, and I was like, holy fuck, I have to do a reading of this. I don't know if you guys can hear that outside, but they're doing like construction stuff outside. Cal Exit, no. What pissing me off about Stefan? Oh, no, that's a Lulbert's episode. I was right about Molyneux. I don't remember what this one was. I don't remember what this video was exactly. It's an hour long. I don't know if this was it's not a podcast. Was this a live stream? No, this is not ending in SDR. Let me mute this. Oh, no. This is the one that had talks about race realism in there. We're not going to put that up. We're definitely not. Good. They're not doing like heavy construction, I guess. So the apartment complex that I moved into still had damage from Snowvid, which Snowvid was that cold front that moved into Texas that froze everybody to death in their apartments and cut the power. But a lot of the outside doors for the patios that lead into where you put your washer and dryer got damaged. Mine was damaged too when I moved in, but they were like, don't worry, we're getting them all repaired. Don't worry. A lot of other people have the same problem. So they are out there building new doors for everybody, and I'm going to get one sometime. Anything with MK Lords. And then, of course, Seamus Coughlin recorded a video, but he didn't want to upload it on his channel. He's like, could you upload this for me? Because I know you don't care about pushback and stuff. And I was like, sure. And it was him doing, and at the time I wasn't even like anti-abortion, but I thought that blog post that guy wrote was so bad that it was good. And I was like, I put it in there. And honestly, this is one of the videos that kind of changed my opinion about abortion and why I'm no longer pro-choice. I was a fence sitter at the time. Now I'm straight up pro-life. So when regressives discuss abortion by Seamus Coughlin. That was a re-upload. Fantano reviews Black Acid Lizard. I'm going to put that one as unlisted. And if you want a link to that video, DM me. I'm not even going to post it in chat. DM me or send me a message somewhere else. Which Black Acid Lizard, he's gone. I can't even find any remnants of him anywhere. I think his YouTube channel got yeeted. And then there was a lot of people who had done like podcasts with him or debates with him who have all deleted their stuff, including Kokesh did a debate with him. That was all deleted too. But he used to like write these god awful ear rape songs that were so bad. And he has a cleft palate. So his singing was like, and his guitar was always out of tune. And it just sounded so bad. And I was just like, I remember I had to put new strings on my guitar. And I was like, well, before I was missing a couple strings. And I was just like, fuck it. Let's write a stupid song and make Anthony Fantano review it. And there were actually people who thought that was actually a Black Acid Lizard song. Like, I haven't heard that one. I was like, holy shit. Fucking nailed it. All right. Bipcot, let's put that one back up. Anything with Bipcot, we'll put back up. Even though I don't use Bipcot anymore. I think if people use it, that's kind of funny. The Ludwig von Mises Institute presents quotations from Austin Peterson, read by Jeff Riggenbach. Back up. Capital slavery, which, by the way, which is interesting. I did a video about Love, Life, and Anarchy, and why I thought he was wrong about one of his videos. It was called, he ended up changing the end of it and getting rid of the Trump stuff after Trump turned out not to be the white nationalist that he was hoping that he was going to be. And but he made like a bunch of claims in his video, and a lot of stuff that he was saying in his video were just like factually inaccurate. And so I did a video talking about what was wrong with that video. And I had a bunch of socialists commenting on me like, oh my God, it's finally refreshing to hear an ANCAP, even though I disagree with you about socialism. At least you understand it. But those people I found in this video's comment section saying, you don't know anything about socialism. It's like, what the fuck? Do I or don't I? Pick one. So capital slavery. That's what I was talking about. Wage slavery. Let's see. Bipcop branded note. By the way, if don't send stuff to my PO box, I don't own it anymore. I'm going to be setting up a new PO box here soon, and when I do, if you send me if you send me like a couple bucks, whatever, I'll send you a Bipcot. I'll send you a Bipcot bracelet, or a couple of Bipcot bracelets and some pogs and stuff. But as of right now, nothing. The not Austin Peterson board game. I'm going to put that one back up. Who would you flag? We're not going to put that one back up. Kevin Logan, not going to put that stuff back up. Anything to do with feminism. Oh, of course. All the stuff with the flags that I made. BipCont, of course. And Alongside Night. All of my reviews for Alongside Night are now... Well, hold on. Got one more to do. Yeah. Are now public. Yippee. I need some caffeine. Okay. BioShock disproves libertarianism, which was flagged. No point of having that one back up. We're going to put last chapter of DMCA Gate. True Shibes stuff. We're going to put the True Shibes back up. No, nothing about JJ. Whatever happened to JJ Talks? Is she still around? I wonder. This is kind of going through like the old YouTube history book for me. JJ Talks was like this feminist YouTuber. That's not her. Yeah, it looks like she disappeared. JJ Talks. I think it was JJ Talks with a Z. No, yeah, she's still there. Yeah, she's gone. Yeah, but her channel's gone. So JJ Talks was like this feminist, but she was not like very woke. And so she got along okay with some of the less woke type of people, like Hate Club, which they ended up becoming like Blue Chat or something like that. They went through a couple different names. And she went after like one of her YouTuber that I know, Dick Coughlin, and accused him of sending her dick pics. And then when people were like, really? Richard Coughlin sent you dick pics? I doubt it. And then it turned out, no, he took a picture of himself making a weird facial expression in response to something that she said to him that was kind of like weird. And so he was like, he made a video or picture back doing like, huh? And that was a dick pic because his name was Dick. It was kind of embarrassing for her. It looks like she ran off because of that. So that one's, I don't think anybody remembers the Laughing Witch. Angry Bastards. This is risky. So the Angry Bastards was accusing ANCAPs of being Nazis because they're right wing and so we're Nazis, therefore they're the same. And it's like, no, Nazis are the third position. Like, well, they were no, he said that his argument was that they're capitalist and that Nazis were capitalist, therefore libertarians are Nazis. And I was like, no, actually they're not capitalist. They're also claiming not to be socialists either. They're claiming to be the third position between socialism and capitalism. So if I'm a Nazi for supporting capitalist stuff that they may support, then you also have to take responsibility of being a Nazi for supporting the socialist stuff that they supported. It just stands to reason, right? If like if you support free markets and if there was any kind of semblance of free marketism and National Socialism, then you're a National Socialist. Well, then if you support any kind of socialist stuff that they also support, then you must also be a Nazi. It's a stupid argument. It's like I support a lot of things that Republicans support. I'm not a Republican. I am not a conservative. Hell no. Right? There's some things that liberals support that I support. Am I lefty now? No. Like there's some things that like I find myself agreeing with communists on. It's very rare, but they occasionally will come up. Does that mean I'm a communist? Hell no. It's because I agree with somebody on like one or two things doesn't mean therefore we're the same. It's retarded. It's stupid. It's very like one level thinking, level one thinking, and angry. But anyways, because it has something to do with Nazis, not going to put it back up. Hannibal the Victor. I don't think anybody remembers or cares about Hannibal the Victor, so there's no point in putting that video back up. And pretty much everybody realizes now that he was a complete fraud. I knew from the very beginning this guy was a complete fraud. Oh, Mitch, do you want to come on? I knew from the very beginning that he was a complete fraud because he would say like, oh yeah, I'm in a PhD doctoral program and I know all about this stuff, and I know, and like he would get like basic facts wrong like all the time, and it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like how do you claim to be a doctor and you don't even know these basic things about the field that you're studying? In a bit, okay. And it just didn't make any sense. And then it turned out, oh no, he was a pedophile. And there was no way that he'd get any of these grants being a convicted pedophile. So I was right. In the end, I was right. Kevin Logan, no one cares about Kevin Logan anymore. He was a punching bag for a while. Oh, what was it called? Academo-economist is an oxymoron. What's the deal with these fucking douchebags? Which, by the way, I don't know if I could really play. I have to mute it. I have to mute it on my end, otherwise it echoes. Do I not have it? Oh, I'm spelling it wrong. I need to bump that one up in my sound list. I don't know why it's so low.
What's the deal with that fucking douchebag?
So let's see. So yeah. So one of the things that used to bug me all the time, like I don't see it anymore, but back in the day when you used to argue with 9/11, I used to argue with like anarcho-communists like way back in the day, and one of the arguments that they used to use, like, there's no libertarians. Like, I've never seen a libertarian protest. It's like, well, first of all, let's look at some Ron Paul footage. Secondly, like Ron Paul rallies. Let's just look at a picture of a Ron Paul rally, but whatever. They'd be like, oh yeah, like you never see like an ANCAP protest. Well, ANCAPs don't protest. Usually they don't protest. Sometimes they do. But even still, just because you don't know how to command a Google image search does not mean that like there aren't people who support these things. And one of the other arguments that they used to use is like, well, historically, or etymology, disproves that, ANCAPs can be libertarian because originally the word meant, or the history of the word means no rulers. And if you have a boss, that's a ruler, or whatever. Like, so therefore they can't be anarchists now. It's like, well, first of all, words have changed in definition. Prime example of which is economics. The original use for the word economics was not about, money and exchange and resource management, in a global economy. No, it was about how you deal with things around your house. Like, do we need more eggs? Because Grandpa might want to have eggs in the morning. Do we have enough eggs? That was called economics. Cooking, cleaning, that sort of thing. That's why when you take a class and do those things in school, it's called home economics. But originally it was just economics. And then that term kind of got taken and used for what we now associate with economics today. Words changed meaning. Wouldn't you know it? Who'd have thunk it? So that's kind of like, so I'm just kind of saying like anybody so the satire is anybody who claims to be an economist, who talks about, finances and stock markets and, that sort of thing, interest rates, they're all fakers. The real economists are people who take care of their house, like usually their wives, not them. And academio economists is an oxymoron. Normonomics. Yeah, but
9/11.
Let's see. Banners for the Revolution. Gotta put that one back up. Anarchy Ball the Mercer, which that's one of the videos I did praising one of Mr. Dapperton's content that I did back in when was this? 2015. Okay, so now we're getting old. Now we're definitely getting into older stuff. I need to start refreshing my subscription page to make sure I'm not bombarding people with. Oh, I'm not even plugged into the right channel. Uh-oh. Please don't tell me I've been raping. Okay, I am subscribed. I'm subscribed to my own channel. Okay, good. So like my problem is, since I'm going back and publicly putting all my videos back in public, I don't want to have a lot of my old videos like bombard people's feeds, because that drives me nuts when people do that. And when your video has been privated for too long, YouTube goes, okay, the video was never uploaded now, even though it'll keep the date of when it was originally Please don't tell me I've been raping. Oh, I hate that. When you wake up and you're like, I raped you. I'm sorry. My bad. I was really drunk. No, it'll just show up as a brand new video, even though it'll be post dated the original date it was uploaded. And I really hate when I log into my YouTube and like someone uploads like 50 million. There was a YouTuber who, he was like the vice chair of the Libertarian Party for some time. His name was Alex Mercer, and Alex Mercer would upload like 5 videos a day, at least 5 videos a day back in the day. And I had to unsubscribe because it was just, my entire feed was just Alex Mercer. And every one of his videos started the exact same way. Hi, this is Alex Mercer from alexmerced.com. And I want to talk a little bit about the business cycle theory. So, and he'll explain the business cycle theory in like 2 minutes. And I'll be like, okay, so this has been Alex Merced from alexmerced.com. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. And then like the next video uploaded 1 hour later. Hi, this is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com. He's a nice guy, but like it got to be too much. And this was 10 years ago. And yeah, I don't know if I'm pretty sure he doesn't do that anymore, but it was so bad. And I don't want to do the same thing where I'm just like, everyone checks their things and it's like, oh, here's 500 videos that Jim uploaded, like from, spanning 10 years. Here we go again. So that's actually not a new podcast. So we're not going to republish that one, because that's announcing a podcast that's no longer new. The Right Stuff in a nutshell. There's no point in talking about The Right Stuff unless I want to get my channel potentially nuked. We should re-upload the Sarkeesian Effect review, which I went into that movie thinking it was going to be terrible. And I was surprised to learn that it was not terrible. It's not great, but it wasn't terrible. I was actually kind of surprised. I like the stuff about Rand, this kind of Randian stuff he slipped in. But I'm not completely on board with the Sarkeesian Effect. And neither is Jordan, by the way. Jordan has kind of disavowed it, which I understand. But I think as a film, it was not. Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald shot John F. Kennedy and he acted alone. I don't know why people think that this is some sort of like hot take or something like that. It's not. It's really not. I think everybody has just been, and I'm supposed to believe that I'm like parroting, the official narrative, and that this is the narrative that I've been brainwashed to do. But meanwhile, it seems like every 5 years, one of these major news networks does like a story about the like the JFK conspiracy, on the conspiracy side of it, going like, yeah, JFK was definitely killed by the CIA or the FBI. They do that every year. There was a major motion picture, and the things that are in the major motion picture called JFK are universally used. Like, that's where most people get their information about JFK, is from a conspiracy theory movie that a fucking lunatic made. What the fuck is his name? Oliver Stone. Yeah, Oliver Stone made. And I'm the brainwashed one. I'm the brainwashed one. No, it's so fucking clear. Like once you actually dig into the facts of what happened and who Lee Harvey Oswald was, it's pretty apparent that he did it. The fact that he used to talk to his wife all the time, and they used to like talk a lot about how much they hated JFK. The night of the night before the murder, he was abnormally quiet because that was the day that he heard that JFK was coming to town, and so he was very like reserved and not talkative during that dinner that night. He showed up in the morning to work carrying a bag of shower rods for a friend that he was going to give, and showed up to work with the gun that he bought, that there was a receipt for, that he bought, that he took a picture of himself while holding up a piece of communist propaganda up with, went to the floor that he worked on, which was the 6th floor of the book depository building, shot JFK, which is a very, very, even though the gun wasn't that good, he was trained to use the gun. Sure, he was just a sharpshooter, but sharpshooters can hit a target, especially from 81 yards, which is not that far. A moving target, yes, he was moving. However, during the course of the path that he was taking, there was a turn in the road, and when he was taking the turn, it lined up JFK to where basically he was not a moving target. He was just moving forward straight. He was basically not a moving target for a few seconds, the very few seconds that he needed in order to make the kill shot. It does not take a marksman. Any basic person who understands how to use a bolt action rifle can fire the shots the same in the time needed. Even the conspiracy version, which is shorter than what has actually happened, can actually use a bolt action rifle, cock, load, aim, fire, all 3 shots in that time frame. It's not that hard. It was a really easy shot. If it's entirely possible that they drug him out to Texas, hoping that maybe there was some right-wing lunatic that might try to kill him. That's entirely possible. But Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. And after he shot JFK, he fucking fled the scene of the crime. An officer was asking why a man tried to stop him because he was wondering why was there someone running away from the scene of a murder. He shot fucking J.D. Tippett, killed him, and hid out in a fucking in a theater. He told a series of provable lies, one after the other, many of which contradicted each other, and why he was not guilty of the crime. His own brother was convinced that he was the fucking murderer. His own brother was convinced he was the murderer. The only people in his family who didn't were the insane ones. His battered wife, who was a Russian communist, who fled the country with him after he was kicked out of the USSR, vouched for him towards the end, and his fucking insane mother, who was just as crazy as he was. By the way, if you haven't seen footage of his mother, Lee Harvey Oswald's mother, she was a fucking lunatic, and a hilarious lunatic at that. By the way, there's a great film about not the JFK assassination, but the events surrounding the JFK assassination that was really good, called Parkland. I think Tom Hanks directed it. Highly recommend it. It's called Parkland, and has nothing to do with the Parkland shooting. But it's not about JFK. It's not about Lee Harvey Oswald. It's about Lee Harvey Oswald's brother. It's about the FBI agents who botched it, who had the opportunity to arrest Lee Harvey Oswald for making threats against the FBI. They could have had him arrested, but they instead, like, oh, he's just some fucking lunatic. We're not going to bother with him, even though he personally hand-delivered a note with threatening to kill them. It's also about the doctors and the nurses that were treating JFK after he was assassinated, and the Secret Service who was trying to investigate it, and Abraham Zapruder who took the video. JFK sneezed with his eyes open. That was great. No, I'm fairly convinced. I used to believe in the conspiracy, but I didn't believe the JFK film version of the conspiracy. I actually believe in a much crazier version of it by William Milton Cooper. who thought it was the driver who shot him with a gas-powered rifle, gas-powered pistol. And if you look at really crappy versions of the JFK assassination footage, the Zapruder film, it kind of looks like he turns around and does this right at the time of the shooting. But when you get a clearer video of it, you'll actually realize it's just the reflection of the pomade of the passenger, and it's not a hand. It just kind of looks that way on a shitty version of the video. And then I was just like a regular JFK assassination conspiracy theorist. And then I got familiar with Vincent Bugliosi, and I got a copy of his book, and I kind of flipped through it, and I was like, holy fuck, I was completely wrong about the JFK assassination. Yep, it was Lee Harvey Oswald. He did it. Quotes from great philosophers. I fucking love this video. There's no point in having the Surge and Crystal Pepsi stuff again. It's pointless. Stefan Polynew. No, that has something to do with Pol. The homework fallacy is not an argument. Yes, I love having videos up that shit on. Shane Killian. Because Shane Killian thinks that he invented a logical fallacy called the homework fallacy. So I'm sure you've been in an argument with someone and they say, no, you're wrong. And then you're like, well, can you prove it? Like, do your own research or do your own homework. He thinks that's a logical fallacy, and it's not a fallacy because it's not an argument. It's not attempting to make an argument. It's just dismissal. It's just him. Sure, it may be a shitty thing to do during a debate or during an argument, but it's not going like, I'm right because you do your homework. They're not saying that. They're just saying like, I don't have fucking time to fucking look things up for you. Do your own research. Therefore, not a fallacy. Then again, he also thinks fraud is lying, just straight up lying, not even for money, just lying as if I don't understand it. Oh, Jeff Berwick and his passport factory. We're going to put that one right the fuck back up. Matt Forney. By the way, I remember Esoteric Entity was passing around a picture of Matt Forney and being like, look at this fat fuck Jim Jesus. It was the picture of him hoverhanding. What's her name? Oh, I forget her fucking name. He thought that was me, and I was like, dude, I am not fucking Matt Forney. What's up, Link Narther? What's going on? So I'm reinstating my YouTube channel. I don't know how long this is gonna last. I have a feeling that I'm gonna get a fucking strike probably before the stream is over, and I'm gonna have to go back to not Jim Jesus. I don't know why I'm not getting all of my chats. Let me open up OBS. Where did OBS go? Oh, there it is. So let's see. Just chilling before work. Nice. Dude, that fat Wojak was beautiful. I used it as my profile picture for like a month. I need to find find it again and reuse it because I fucking love that picture. It's great. I took it as a high. By the way, what's funny is that like I did that and I fucking wore it as a badge of honor for like a month and a. Oh yeah, we should do a post-mortem. I'm definitely down to do a post-mortem. I know we were supposed to do that originally, and then for some reason we couldn't make that happen. So I ended up grabbing Bill, and Bill was very much. I think he was actually a part of the Zeitgeist movement like for like a couple of weeks, and then he was like, "Oh, these guys are fucking crazy. Fuck these guys." And then he got involved with like the open source version of it. I think it was called. Oh fuck! What was the name of that group? It was basically like it had only taken like a year for a Protestant Venus Project movement to get off the ground. That was crazy. And so like he was involved with that for a bit, and then he got involved with conspiracy science, which later became Skeptic Project, and he's just been critical ever since. So he has been around from almost like day one from the Zeitgeist stuff. So I had him on. We should do another one. Because I mean, it was dead then. It is especially dead now. Like they have not done another Z-Day. Shane DK, liar, liar, pants on fire, of course. Shane Killian is the most dishonest liar who ever fibbed. Angry bastards. Yeah, of course we got to put that one back up, because if I don't, I will get angry messages from Man with a Penis. Man with a Penis will send me fucking messages like, you uploaded a bunch of videos, but not the Angry Bastards video. Like this, I think it's his favorite video of mine. Oh, and I think Drew liked it too. Drew Hancock was a huge fan of that video. He kept pushing me to make more of them. Drug laws are bad, MK. Not an argument is not an argument, which is not an argument, which is not an argument, which is not an argument. Ad nauseum. I'm going to put my satire video back up, but I'm not going to put back the one explaining that was a satire video, because I had a video up on my YouTube channel, and it's called "How to Win Political Arguments Against Libertarians," and the video was basically that I'm no longer libertarian as of the 1st of this month, which I uploaded it in, this was this is an article that I wrote on April Fool's Day, and then I made a video version of it like a few months later. But I said like around the beginning of April, I'm no longer libertarian, and I'm now like an avowed statist, and I work for an organization called CATMUF, which Citizens Against Unfettered Freedom, or CATMUF. And like I was putting like all these intentional red flags, like I'm obviously shit posting right now. Like I only listen to court historians. Like I was saying shit like that. But I was the idea was like the reason why I'm not an ANCAP anymore is because I came to this conclusion, and anybody who disagrees with me, disagrees with you on this, you should just say, do you think that my grandmother should die in the streets of starvation? Like anybody who disagrees with Social Security, do you want my dear old grandma dead? Which is weird, because both of my by the time I made that, wait, in 2015, no, one of my grandmothers is still alive. Never mind. But anyways, but I uploaded that video, and the whole point of the video was like, please stop using things like the against me argument, because at the end of the day, what it really boils down to, it's the exact same argument that liberals use, like this, where you don't agree, if you don't agree with my policy prescriptions, you just want my grandmother dead. You want poor people to die in the streets. You want, black people shot by the cops. You want this, you want that. And they're just emotional pleas. They're pleas to emotion. They're not really valid arguments. There is a point to be made. There is a point to be made to talk about state violence. Like anytime you advocate for some sort of government position, you're advocating for state violence. Make that case. Personalizing it is not really an argument. You're just saying like, you just want me shot. You just want my grandmother dead. That was the point of the video. And there's a lot of comments in there going like, these are stupid reasons not to be libertarian anymore. It's like, of course they are. They're intentionally bad. That's the whole point. Oh, my Jeffrey Tucker video. I'm kind of tempted just to play the audio from it. Fuck it. Let's do it. As soon as I unmute the site. Let me close that tab. Is it going to play? Oh, no. Meal at your store right now. Here we go. There's a meal at your store right now that is so wonderful and decadent, yet it's so hard for anyone to conceive that such a thing would be enjoyable. It's been a staple in literary culture for decades and even centuries, and no good can come of it. There it is, in its satisfying deliciousness, at less than 2 bits a serving. Now, no one that I asked today has ever even tried gruel, yet they are so quick to insult it. Young or old, it's not even a thing. It's not even talked about unless it's prodding at the lifestyle of 19th century orphans. It is fascinating that we are overlooking it. People eat porridge and oatmeal and grits and cream of wheat is a common staple, and rice is yet almost mandatory in most Asian countries. But why not gruel? Is it the name? And why is it that grinding oatmeal into a powder and adding a bit more water is such a sin? Just like some scotches, a little water can bring out so much in grains, and sometimes more is better. It really brings out the creamy and robust characteristics of them, and it can appease almost all palates. Adding a small bit of sugar to an oat gruel, or perhaps a little maple syrup, can even make your breakfast into a sweet delight that can make even the most picky child eater sing like he's eating some sugary cereal. A little salt and butter can please even the most die-hard savory palates. The staple food of Western diet for centuries through millet and hemp seed was more common, but thanks to the spoils of the free market, all sorts of grains are at our fingertips, even in ground forms. Whole grain flour could be a wonderful experience with just a little bit of tomato juice. Corn gruel with some chili powder and some mayo and Parmesan cheese is a creamy dish to go with a little bit of Mexican flair. However, my personal favorite is adding just a little bit of soy sauce and some sriracha sauces to a rice gruel, and it makes somewhat of an Asian-inspired breakfast. In an age where we're supposed to pay through the nose for eggs because of the recent bird flu epidemic, people are seeking alternatives. The price signal is all over the map, yet one of the most best and affordable options isn't even being considered because of the negative connotations that Charles Dickens applies. Charles Dickens, who was responsible for the spread of post-medieval ethics, is also to blame for the damnation of a vital and delicious part of our history. I think it's time that we should reclaim our history and our pleasure from that status mindset that tries to hide this wonderful dish from our love of fine dining. It is time to bring back our love of grains and from the Paleo and Atkins school of thought and cozy up to a fire, having a good bourbon and coffee and a hot cup of gruel. That was a classic. By the way, Mitch, hop into a voice channel. I'll drop you in. Doesn't matter which one, just anyone. I don't know if you can see me. Just let me know when you're there. So anyways, still going through all the videos and re-enabling a lot of them. Not all of them, obviously. There's a lot of them that could possibly get me into some trouble. So we're just, so we're kind of go through them. So anything to do with, most to do with Trump. Not all of them, but yeah. Okay, so let me unmute myself. Mitch.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
By the way, link your YouTube channel. I'll post it in the chat.
I'll have to. All right, go on then.
Whatever. Whenever you get a chance, I'll just post it in chat whenever you do. So
9/11. We're gonna go to hell.
Dude, it's funny. Like, anytime someone says 9/11, now I just start laughing. I've seen that. There's been times where I would upload that video to YouTube and it would just start like auto playing in the background, and I would laugh every single time they said it.
You know, Razorfist uses it for his super chat noise.
Oh, he does? 9/11.
9/11. Or as I once said to a Liberty Thought, 5/11.
5/11.
5/11. Okay, Whamlet.
Okay, so are there any videos that I should re-upload on my channel? One of the things that I was really avoiding, one of the ones that I was really avoiding was the anything to do with Kevin Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Because one, I can't imagine anybody caring about Kevin Logan now.
No one really cares.
Yeah.
Even I don't care.
I used to think
I should say something.
I used to watch his videos just as like hate fuel. Because I can't stand him. He's such a piece of crap. Yeah, he is. Potato
He's a
man,
coward
potato man. Oh, he is.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's an absolute coward. And
Do you remember when they tried to false flag Thunderfoot and a few others?
yeah,
He was in that chat group, and he never once exposed it.
yeah,
The person who exposed it was in disguise. He was infiltrating him.
yeah. That was with the Laughing Witch too, right? Was the whole time with that thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just mentioning her. I was like, I don't want to upload a video about Laughing Witch because nobody cares anymore. That stuff is so
You know
dead.
what's funny? I was watching this other guy's back catalogue. You know, have you heard of Freedom Alternative?
No, should I?
He's he's good. He's like a Romanian libertarian,
Okay.
and
I'm gonna.
he knows like V. You know V, the Romanian guy.
Yeah.
Who Sargon knows. Yeah, they're like mates. You know, they're Romanian. Of course, they know each other.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, of course.
but Freedom Alternative is really, really good. Like his content's really good, and his podcast, which goes to ungodly lengths. And even he knew about Laughing Witch.
Oh my god. Wait, I need to. I'm getting confused now. Where is my? Okay, so that is that. I need to go back onto. Not Jim Jesus.
You mean Nano Chad?
I mean Nano Chad. I still
He's
think.
not very tall.
Oh yeah, he's not very. Yeah, he was shorter.
I think you're taller than him, right?
I don't know. I've never met him. Never met him in person.
How tall are you?
5'10".
Ooh, I think you're both the same height.
It's only an inch. Really? What's an inch?
It's an extra.
Yeah, it's an extra. Right. So I'm trying to go through all my videos, and I think
So you are the same person. Oh my god.
no, we're not the. Oh shit! No, he has hair. Checkmate.
Yeah, but you could use a wig. You could wear a wig.
Someone was like, was it? No, Drew Hancock was like, Jim, how come you look so much different in this picture? And I was like, I got loked. So yeah.
Well, what colour's his hair? Is it ginger?
Yeah, we're both gingers.
Of course he is. Again, the plot thickens.
And we're both Irish.
Well, in inverted commas.
Yeah. Sarkeesian effect, rough draft preview.
I briefly knew Jordan. You did that.
No, I've talked to Jordan a couple of times. Only once in private, and like I remember he left a comment on one of my videos where I reviewed his version of the video, which I went into that video thinking it was going to be fucking terrible.
It was okay.
And it was okay. There was a lot of things I disagreed with, like especially the stuff around Jack Thompson. Like obviously, I thought that was kind of dumb. And I think a lot of the Sarkeesian stuff was much ado about nothing. But
yeah,
I thought
brought Jack Thompson on, didn't he?
Yeah. The thing that I did, the thing that made me actually go like, actually, you know, I'm on the side of kind of liking it now, was the whole stuff about Rand, where that whole little soliloquy he did towards the end, where he was talking about, it was almost like a Galt speech, but it was about Gamergate, and I was like, oh, that made me a little bit more sympathetic to Gamergate. Like I'm not a big fan of Gamergate, only because, and it's not because like I'm against it. I'm not. It's just that like we only started caring about, you know, ethics in gaming journalism when the whole, you know, Five Guys situation happened.
Yeah.
It's like, but there's been big corruption going on in gaming journalism since the 90s.
Yeah.
Since the 80s. Like there has been like all kinds of payola going all kinds of different ways, and no one ever talks about it.
It was just that watershed moment where everybody just woke up basically. I think, you know, I mean, people are stupid. I was stupid. I vaguely knew that a lot of the scores were probably bullshit. I couldn't prove it, but that was the first time a lot of us had like, wow, this is like solid proof that all this is bullshit. I think that's what it was. It was the fact it was so blatant, and then when you look into the other people's backstories and you see even more evidence, and I think that's what it was. I think looking back now, I mean, it was my first foray into all of this. You know,
there was a lot of people.
If it weren't for that, I wouldn't be here. So you know.
Yeah. I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened or anything like that, but I think a lot of it was just like there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's happening in gaming journalism that nobody wants to mention or talk about, and I wasn't even that familiar with it at the time. They're still doing construction. I don't know if you can hear it.
Razor Fist was there before it was cool in 2011.
Yeah. which I'm not a big fan of Razor Fist.
Yeah, I can understand. He's not a libertarian, so yeah.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like he did a whole thing about what was it, intellectual property? That was even if you were pro intellectual property, you should have been like, bruh.
Oh no.
But anyways, and I really hate his sense of humor.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually do think he's funny.
It's very kind of like Dennis Miller, like, hey, do you remember the Smurfs?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
I do like
I was
him,
at
though.
a cheesecake factory the other day, and this lady came out, and she was short as hell, and I was wondering when there was going to be some sort of Smurfs reunion. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
That's
He had a really
it's very much like that kind of style of humor. I've never been a big fan of it.
He's his favorite comedian, by the way.
Oh,
Dennis
that
Miller.
makes sense. Okay, it makes perfect sense.
I mean, it works.
I guess.
His one-liners have been on fire recently. Like he's been putting out some good ones. And then at one point, he was talking about the that baseball match, that baseball team, Atlanta Braves. They should change the name, right?
Did they really change the names?
No, there's people saying they should, but so like towards the end he goes, "I'm Razor Fist, God fucking speed," right? Well, he changed it. He goes, "I'm Chief Flipping Bird, God fucking speed."
Oh no!
Come on, that's pretty. I thought that was pretty gold.
Yeah, it comes up every.
That was a good meme.
Yeah, it comes up every once in a while where they try to change the team or change the name of some of these teams, like the Redskins. I had their trademark removed for a while, and I think they got it reinstated. Then there's Braves,
So
the Indians. I don't know if any of them changed though.
Redskins did.
No, the Redskins.
The thing is, like,
no.
How many Native Americans are actually asked, like, should they change it? They're never asked, are they? I mean, in the YouTube comments, you get loads of them saying, "Why the fuck are you changing it?"
No, I think it was the Indians. I think it was the Indians.
Well, activists, when it.
Cleveland Indians are the one that changed.
Cleveland.
No, they're still the Cleveland Indians.
Where is that? Ohio.
Oh no! They're actively in the process of changing it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the Cleveland Indians, not the Washington Redskins. The Redskins they've been digging their heels in the mud. Football's a very different. It's a very different animal than baseball. Baseball, they'll cave.
The Chinese want that money.
Yeah. So how to win political arguments? Where did I leave off? Oh, so I did I just re-uploaded the Arini cut review, which I watched, which that was fucking awful.
Oh, he was cringe.
Oh, he is so bad. I'm so glad.
I refused to watch that.
Yeah. Oh, I watched it. I've watched it when it first came out, and I was like, oh, this is what they're making? This is going to be fucking terrible. That's why I went into... Now? He's making like a podcast on his WordPress site, and it's all bad. And like he spams my email with it. Like I have it filtered, but like I still get it. And I hit him up and I was like, hey, I don't know how we got my email. Well, my email address is easy. It's jim@jimjesus.com, but I mean, I just started getting emails from him and I'm like, what the fuck? I never signed up for this shit. Like, what the fuck? And so I just kept getting emails from him and they were always flagged as spam. And I was like, what the fuck? Like they were automatically, like I didn't flag them as spam. They were just flagged as spam. And I was like, what the fuck? So I contacted him like, hey, can you take me off from your list, please? Like, I don't want anything to do with you. And then like he was using that as an avenue to like try to argue with me. And I kept going like, I don't want to fucking argue with you. I just want you to stop sending me fucking email. And he's like, well, you contacted me. I was like, no, you see that I'm responding to one of the emails that I got from your fucking website. Take me off your fucking list. And then he starts going into this big diatribe about like, you know, like I just want Joe Biden to win and I'm getting cucked by Joe. And I'm like, I just want you out. I don't like you. I don't like Joe Biden either. I just don't like you. And I was like, I think you're a fucking a fucking creep and a con artist. Like, go away. And he was like, oh, you think that because of Jordan Owen and all this other stuff? Like, let me tell you why Jordan Owen is the real scam artist. And I'm like,
right, okay.
Who said anything about Jordan Owen? Just take me off your fucking list. And then like he wouldn't do it, and I just was like, all right, whatever. And then I had to just send automatically to my trash. I just blocked it, right?
Mm.
And then I checked it like 3 days later, and he sent me like 3 other emails. And I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Like the whole point of the initial exchange was, I just don't want your emails. Stop sending me emails. And you're sending me emails after I tell you.
Jim.
Yeah. Like, whatever, go away. You're fucking retard. He's an idiot. So refuting Mark's labor theory of value, which is like my shortest video ever. It's 7 seconds long.
Get the Sterner one out.
Which I just go.
Going about property.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No.
Why? What's wrong with Sterner?
No. I'm not doing a video on the labor theory of value, because at the time, every YouTube channel had a video about why the labor theory of value was wrong. And it's just like, and I was like, what is this, 1890? No, I'm not doing this. like did we forget about the Manchurian Revolution? Like, are we done with this yet? Thought this argument was over now.
Well, it's kind of like the wage gap. It just doesn't go away.
Yeah. So I'm not going to re-upload a video called Flaggets Ruin Everything. Forget that.
Flaggets.
Flaggets.
Is that a Molly meme?
No, flagget was a term that I got from Derek J, who Derek J is the most gayest person I've ever talked to. He did like the victimless crime spree, and we were doing an episode of the Freedom Fiends, and there was a big kerfluffle about like desecration of the flag, and he was like, oh, I can't stand these flaggets. And he said this on the air on nationally syndicated talk radio show.
Wow.
Which, I mean, it's not one of the words. It's not one of the root word for flagget, which is not the F word, is not on the FCC list.
I can say it because it doesn't have those connotations over here.
Yeah. Do you want a cigarette?
You're a cigarette. Well, you know, do you want a stick? Are you calling me a stick?
You're calling me a cigarette?
It's funny because even gay people say, "Oh, I'm going to have one," because I can't say it on YouTube. Can I?
Oh, this is the video that I want to make public: is doxing is not theft. I think a lot of cases when you and I run into like cases of doxing, like something like Kiwi Farms or something, we can be like, that's a shitty thing to do. But I don't think that it's criminal. I don't think it should qualify as criminal. Unless
Depends
you go,
what they leak, you know.
I don't know. Not even that. Like, I think that even if I was like, I hate Mitch, here's where he lives, here's his phone number, here's his social security number, not go after him. But if I just say, I don't like him, here's his info.
Number 10 Downing Street, guys.
10 Downing Street. I think that's not, it's a shitty thing to do, but it's not, I don't think it should be criminal. However, if I go, here's his information, you know what to do, Antifa, or go fucking egg his house, then that's a call to action. And I think that should be, that part of it is criminal.
My house has been egged once.
I didn't do it. No. I swear.
Well, no, it was my sister's friends back in the day.
I don't think that should be criminal. And if you're a libertarian, I think it's funny that libertarians will use arguments that, or at least ones that are anti-intellectual property, will use intellectual property arguments for the case against doxing. And it's like, weren't you just talking about how intellectual property is not valid? Yet you're sitting here saying like, this is my information and you're giving my information out. Like, you don't know that.
I just think doxers should be doxed. It's that simple.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of doxing doxers. Like, I remember like Esso was getting upset that people were threatening, including myself, to dox Blue if we ever got that information. And they were like, oh, they're gonna dox Blue, and it's like, Blue is a doxer. That's all he ever does.
Irony,
yeah.
Like.
Oh, where is that? I'm bad with my soundboard. Oh,
I beat you to it. I got it.
Well, that's the irony. The irony is they're claiming you didn't read enough of Hoppa to understand, and I mean, yeah, that's true.
What a moron.
Yeah. So I did a movie review, and it was actually just a joke about Stefan Molyneux of Kung Fury. It's called movie review. Kung Fury: The Untold Story, and it was basically like this video is like how socialism is great and capitalism and the free market is bad, and like pointing out these things that that show symbolically that capitalism is bad, which is not there. It's completely in the head. And I had people going like, "This is the worst review of this movie ever." Like, that's the point. It's a great movie, by the way. It has nothing to do with socialism or anything. It's just synthwave.
I do need to see it.
Nostalgia. Really, you haven't seen it? We should do.
Nope.
We should do movie night.
I've heard the theme song.
Yeah, I have that. I have that album on vinyl, dude. It's
Really?
Like it's one of my most expensive vinyls that I have because they only made one run of it. Oh, let's check.
I just bought one today.
Kung Fury?
No.
Oh.
The Who. Who's next?
So let's see.
Yeah.
Let's sort by max price. Or
Oh, you got the Spookbusters flag, I see.
No, median price.
Is that Jake the dog?
Yeah. And Finn.
Yeah. I didn't know you liked Adventure Time.
I like their old stuff. The newer stuff when they started getting woke was really bad, but what showed me on that show was there was an episode called Tree Trunks, which the episode was about this little elderly elephant lady who just did nothing but grow apples and bake apple pies, and she would go out and pick,
remember it,
yeah. And then they went on this adventure because she said she wanted to eat an apple, like she wanted to pick and eat an apple. She's like, you pick and eat apples all the time. Like, what's like, no, this is a crystal apple. This is a magical apple, and it lives in this forest that's far away. And it's really scary to get there. And they're like, well, let's go on an adventure. We'll take you and we'll make sure you're safe. And she kept getting in like, she almost got herself killed a few times. And they were like, what are you doing? You're going to get yourself killed. She was like, oh, fine. I'll just go home. They're like, oh, no, come on back. And so they convince her to come back, and they go on, they defeat the Crystal Guardian. She's like, go ahead, take a bite of the apple. And she takes a bite of the apple. She explodes.
Holy shit.
They have this horrid look on their face. Like, they have this look on their face, like, of like pure horror. Like, oh my God, our friend just died. Roll commercial. And it's like, what the fuck was that show, dude? Like, I love this show. This show's great. It's so disturbing.
I thought regular show was better, though.
Okay, so it dropped in price. I think they may have re-released it or something.
Ooh.
But the median price for Kung Fury, the version that I have, is $95. But I think it was at
not worth it.
No, I'm not selling that shit. Hell no.
Hell no.
The most expensive album that I have is a reissue of Delouse in the Comatorium, followed by the original pressing of Bedlam and Goliath, which I still have the 7-inch Planchette single that came with it too. Then Flaming Lips and Tame Impala mix EP where they're covering each other's songs. And then Conquer's Bad Fur Day soundtrack.
I am the great and mighty Pooh.
I'm going to throw my shit at you.
My oldest vinyl, I reckon, is about...
It comes from my chocolate starfish. How about some scat, you little twat?
I love that.
It's so British.
It's an actual opera singer, isn't it?
I think so. I know
that's pretty good. Yeah, my oldest vinyl's about 43 years old. I think it is, because it's a James Brown one called Original Disco Man. And it's actually really good, considering it's a later album. I mean, he has like over 50 or something ridiculous like that. So like on the cover it says available in cassette and 8-track. And it actually it's my best sounding vinyl too, I would say, without a doubt.
Hierarchy is inevitable. I need to have that one because that one that one made a lot of lefties mad because
the dishes, Jim.
Yeah, like the whole point, like and it was funny because someone was like, you just can't point out one study. It's like, no. The thing that I'm pointing out is not a study. It's actually a series of studies that's actually in a formal college education textbook, right? And we all know that universities are overwhelmingly conservative, right? Wink, wink.
Oh yeah, wink, wink.
And the chapter itself was also submitted for peer review and is actually in the literature now. And that's what I was citing. And it's just a bunch of studies and case studies of like, look, here's these organizations that claim to be like non-hierarchical. And, but if you actually look into them, they're actually very hierarchical. They're just not formally hierarchical. There's no like, this guy is the leader. It's just like everybody looks to this particular guy or these group of guys for like ideas, and they just kind of go along with anything that they say. And they're basically de facto leaders. And they also view themselves as kind of like the people making the decisions. You just don't have a formal rule set about it. Antifa has a hierarchy. And they actually have like color coded like armbands that they wear to determine like who's the ones, just like the normies who are just passing through to, be a part of some activism. Then you have the people who go out and do like the violence and stuff. Then you have the organizers who actually come together and say like, here's how we're going to, here's the places that we're going to meet at or whatever. And then there's like a step above that. I think it's the yellow ones that are actually basically kind of like NGOs.
The commissars.
Yeah. It's actually kind of crazy. Like all of these non-hierarchical organizations end up having some sort of organization. Like even Anonymous back in the day, when they were protesting Scientology, they were like, "Oh, this is like no." There was some organization going on, and I remember seeing a lot of the people who were part of there was like 2 in L.A., both of who were targeted and doxxed by Scientology, so they even knew that they were, there was some sort of formal leadership. But unofficial, right?
It's like what was I going to say now? It is inevitable. Oh, there was something I wanted to say. Oh God, what was it? I forgot.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to chat. Sorry, Ghoul. To give Gamergate credit, turned a lot of young people against the institution of journalism. Very, very glad it happened. Yeah. There's some good sides to it. I'm not saying it's all bad, but I was just like, why is always the focus on why gaming journalism is bad? It has everything to do with the woke stuff. When there's other things to talk about too that are just as bad, if not worse.
Oh, I remembered, but it's kind of off topic. So commissar, right? In Russian is well, what we assume commissar means in Russian is the guys who shoot you if you're a coward, right? In German, have you ever seen a film called M?
Hitler Lives?
No, not Hitler Lives.
God damn it, Moldbug.
No, it's one of the first ever sound films in Germany. It's by the guy who did Metropolis, Fritz Lang, and it's about a pedo.
Oh.
It's about a nonce. And they don't say he is.
Big fucking hairy nonce.
You want me to play it? Hang on.
Yeah, you have to play it now.
They don't actually say he is, but but he is,
Fucking nonce.
There you go. So they try him in a kangaroo court, and then the police are also trying to find him because they know a mob's after him or something. And then commissar means inspector in German, I think, or detective, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know that when I first watched the film. I was like, commissar, what? And then there's a song by a guy, Falco, who did what was it called? What's that song called? Hang on. Rock Me Amadeus, that one.
Rock Me Amadeus.
Rest in peace, Falco. But he did a song, his first big hit was Der Kommissar, which is about a cop.
Change the name of the Braids to the Cowardly.
The Cowardly, yeah.
The Cowardlies.
The Simps.
The Simps. The Cleveland Steamers, there we go.
Cleveland Simps.
Jim is jealous of Razorfist's cool luck. Maybe.
Yeah. So there's this. Have you heard of the new culture?
I need to get me some aviators.
So have you? It's a British channel. Have you heard of them called? I heard of this channel called the New Culture Forum.
No, what is this?
It's like a talk show, interview show where they interview like all the talking heads in Britain from like the right. And they got this guy on who I thought was just some random guy on YouTube. He did get pretty big. I'm not gonna lie. He's like a well-spoken working class guy who's like did a lot of history stuff and stuff on the right and the left and things like that. And he's now being interviewed by them. Really weird. It's funny because apparently he gets quite a lot of hate from leftists calling him racist, and he's actually not. He talks about multiculturalism and things like that, but he's actually quite. I think when he was younger, I don't know I don't know about now, but he has the receipts. He actually was quite invested in the black community where he used to live, and he'd like, like your mum or your dad will know somebody who can teach you maths or history or whatever, in their spare time. He was that. So he taught all these kids to read and write who he just happened to know their parents. And he'd meet them after 30 years later or something and see how they're doing. So he's not really. But I can't believe he's actually hit the big time today. Bloody hell.
Nice. Well, I still want to know about that video that I kept seeing of the guy going like, "Oh yeah, I'm he's like a woodworker or he's a carpenter," and he was like, yeah, it doesn't seem very good for the environment, cutting down trees and making stuff from it. And he's like, well, it's a renewable resource. You can grow tree. It's in renewable resources, or it's in a renewable resource. He's like, how is that? And he's like, 'cause you can grow more trees. And he's like, you can grow lots of things, can't you? And he's like, well, you can't grow concrete. He's like, yeah, you can. And the guy was just like,
wait, I think I saw that.
Like, is that like he just stayed quiet because he didn't know if it was like a joke or what. And he was just like,
oh, I found it. It was on Talk Radio, wasn't it? Yeah. I think that was a troll, wasn't it, surely?
No, it was just a fat guy who just had like a TV show on that station.
It's a radio show, technically, that they filmed. Oh. Yeah, Talk Radio, yeah. Oh, I will post it in the chat. It's in voice chat.
The guy was restarted, yeah.
So it's the young guy who said you can grow concrete or something. No, was it the fat guy who said you can?
Yeah, no, the fat guy said that. It was actually the host of the show.
Mike.
What's his name? Because I do recognise his face. Hang on.
What an idiot.
Great, and that's it, yeah. He is a massive idiot, yeah. But then again, Julia Hartley-Brewer, who's on there, is not too bad. She's all right.
So let's see. I re-enabled that video. I also
recognise some of these people.
Who?
Oh, there's a woman called Trisha Goddard. She used to do a lot of, like Jerry Springer type ones, but not as bad.
Oh, okay.
She used to do stuff like that, yeah.
So we got the Jeff Berwick video where I was talking about like, oh yeah, Jeff Berwick's a flat earther. Let's see. Oh, Bipcot. Enable Bipcot videos. I'm not going to do the video about Steph loving the cops because that's possibly going to get me in trouble. All the videos about True Shibes, that's going to go back up.
Rest in peace.
Actually, no, I'm going to unlist that one because it's kind of pointless to have that one back up. My that's not an ad hominem dumbass video, which I actually make the case that you can actually make a valid. Not all ad hominems are logically fallacious. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
For example, oh, I think I'd be a great person to work at the daycare center. Okay, pedophile. Like that's actually a valid argument why someone should not work at a fucking daycare center. They're a convicted pedophile. Because it's very like all logical fallacies are, most of them, the vast majority of them are just various different types of non sequiturs. Like, what does it matter if you're fat or not to do with the fact the sky not being blue? Like, the sky is blue. No, it's not. No, it's not, because you're a fat ass. It's like, what does him being fat have to do with the sky, the color of the sky? Nothing. But if I were to make the case that that you shouldn't work at a Denny's because you never shower, you're probably going to get people sick by touching everything. You never wash your hands. Yeah, that's a valid case to be made.
So if Vosh was to go, I'd make a great kindergarten. Well, as we say over here, I'd make a great nursery teacher. Okay, nonce.
I'd make a great. I'd be the best person to take school photos ever. It's like, you're okay, fucking child pornographer. Let's see. Response to Thunderfoot about Stefan Molyneux. Yeah, that one's fine.
Did he get something wrong in his video about him?
He got a lot of stuff right, and he got a lot of stuff wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking, and the argument was more addressed to libertarians who were attacking Thunderfoot for going after Molyneux, and I was like, no, that's actually a lot of the things that he was saying was actually right. But there's a lot of things that he was saying that were actually wrong. This is also something. My Glass Econ, Science is Magic. I don't remember what that. Oh, I was actually going after the Zeitgeist. I think it was like one of my last actual arguments against the Zeitgeist movement.
Dude, what if we just get some 3D printers, man?
Dude, you can fucking get free Cheetos, dude. Robots make this, dude. It's free, dude. What? Dude, free weed. Free 3D printed weed. All right, let's see. Crafty Butcher. They have a shot after she explodes of her wandering through a crystal, some sort of afterlife. Yeah. They did a follow-up episode where she's still alive, and she was some evil character, and they save her. The Truth About the Josh. Oh yeah, YouTube poops definitely going back up.
Bruh.
Magnitude doesn't justify hypocrisy. You went to jail. I'm sorry your dad hit you.
What's that about? I have no idea what that's about.
So Molly was talking about how Sweden has a law against spanking your kids.
This is enlightening. It's great. Don't spank your kids.
We're gonna have the Freedom Fiends episode where
you look like my left nutsack.
They interviewed two people who were in Molyneux's secret cult.
What are you talking about? It's not a cult.
It is a cult. Well, I don't know if Molyneux's cult actually exists anymore.
Nah, I don't think so.
Because the website, his website, Freedom Main Radio, his website had a forum on there, and then the forum had a hidden forum that was only for higher up members, people who gave lots of money and people who were very active and donated a lot of their time and effort. They would go up the ranks into this group called Friends of FDR, and it was it was hidden from the rest of the group.
Freedom Main Radio, not Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
No.
Right?
The worst FDR. All the FDRs are bad. That one was worse. But anyways,
by how much?
And it was a cult in every sense of the word. Even cult experts were like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." And there was even once where he was berating members of that board for not being more sympathetic to him and his wife when she was getting in trouble by the board for recommending defooing on his podcast, which was a practice that she didn't do at her actual practice. She only did it on the show, and she only did it on the show because he pressured her. There was a few episodes where he was basically peer pressuring her into doing it and berating her for not wanting to do episodes about defooing. And she was even in the show was I don't want to do it because I could possibly get my license taken away, and her license almost was taken away because of that.
Almost was. I thought it was, wasn't it?
No, her license was suspended, but the suspension of the suspension was, or there was a suspension of the suspension under the conditions that she would have anytime she was in a session, that there would be another licensed board member there making sure that she wasn't recommending defooing. And if she was recommending defooing, that had to go to a little special board where they would review the case to make sure that she could recommend that as an option. But they said that she never did. there was never a case that, you know, that would even come close to that. And when they audited all of her files, they couldn't find any evidence that she would ever recommend defooing, ever. Not even like where it was necessary or anything. There was never a case where that even came up. So on the show, she was recommending defooing, but not in her private practice, which says a lot, which again, like those other episodes or whatever. What are you, gay?
What are you, gay?
God damn it, you beat me to it.
So why you no calling to Steph's show? Yeah. Which, by the way, I ended up, after that video came out, I was like, fine, I'll ask to be on the show. Never. That was 2014. Critics get bumped for the front of the line, right? It's 2021 now. No response.
You need to put the Stirner one back about private property.
Why are you gay? I'm not gay.
Wait.
You are homosexual.
Who said I was gay? You are gay.
You are gay.
No, I'm not. So what did she mean by that? Was she lesbian or bi?
She was, I think she was a trans man.
Was she?
Woman trans to a male, but
Really?
she was straight. So that means that she dated other women, biological women.
I didn't know that.
And he was like, "Why are you gay? Why are you gay?"
Technically, he's not wrong.
Misogyny and
know
freedom
that was
in radio.
trans.
No, we're not going to put that one back up.
Wait, I need to look back at this now because she doesn't look trans.
I think that's what she was saying. She was
Why are you
trend. Why are you gay?
Let's have a look.
Freedom Fiends on Molyneux again. Yeah, we're going to publish that one.
No, she really doesn't look it.
I think that's what she was saying in the video. She was saying that she was. Why don't you
Looks
pass?
like a lesbian
she
to me.
doesn't pass. She's not passable.
I mean, she looks butch to me.
Public. Victor Pross. Oh my God. I'm so glad that guy just disappeared.
Who disappeared?
So there's this guy named Victor Pross, and he's I'm going to say he's a con artist. But he was not very good at it. He's Canadian, and what he does is he's like a caricature artist, right? Like basically his job was he would go to like birthday parties and do caricatures, or you go on the streets and do like caricature drawings for money. And he had like some that he did with like oil paints that were actually fairly good. But what he would do is he was a plagiarist, one. So he would like write like these long articles on like Facebook about why Ayn Rand is actually an anarchist. And people have gone through, and this has been like, people have been like, the objectivists have been like calling this guy out for a long time. And like, they'd be like, you'd find like this article written by some guy about why Ayn Rand is an anarchist. And he would just basically rearrange the paragraphs. So it looked like you couldn't Google search it very easily. And people have documented like all the times he's committed plagiarism. And then it also turned out that like when he would upload pictures of him doing caricatures where like he was just right off screen from the photo, like people had found the original photo and it was like a different caricature artist. And he was just like taking other people's stuff. And then he did like this. He was like, I just did this caricature of Michael Jackson. It's going to be in my, whatever. And people would reverse Google image search it and found out some other artist did it. And he like raised a bunch of money to do this documentary, and he was like, oh, this documentary exists of me or whatever now. And here's the trailer for it. And it was just basically a YouTube video. The video does not exist. The guys that allegedly did the movie are all on IMDb, and none of them credit that movie have them doing any part of that movie whatsoever. It just does not exist. And he raised money for it. Yeah. And he'll bring on like Walter Block and interview him, and then go around saying like, oh, I'm famous because I interviewed Walter Block and he knew who I am and we're good friends or whatever. It's like, dude, Walter Block, David Friedman, Like a lot of the like Stefan Kinsella, they will pretty much go on any podcast and do any show, and they're kind of notorious for just taking up any show, which they're just because a lot of them don't do anything except for Kinsella. You know, they have a lot of free time, and they're just like, hey, I want to spread the liberty, and I'll go on a show that has like 200 subscribers on YouTube. Like, I don't care. Like, you know, they just want to spread the ideas. Good for them. I'm not dogging on them, but he uses that as being like, oh, look, I had these big libertarians on my show. I'm famous. It's like, no, they went on Volt's channel.
I know.
Like,
oh God.
Fuck. Like, they'll go on anybody's
You
show.
shall not be named.
Yeah. It's like, they'll go on anybody's show. And I haven't asked, I usually just don't ask people to come on my show. I'm going to end up changing that soon because I'm going to actually restart another podcast that I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to retheme it and everything. So give it a new name. Mostly because
Sunday morning.
The Vault episode was bad. Which, by the way,
what happened? Tell me.
No, it's bad because he was like, "Hey, interview me," and I was like, "Okay." And I started asking him questions. He would give me like 1-sentence answers, and I'm like, "Dude,
my God." Yeah,
I'm like, dude, this is a long form and I had to like tell him during the middle of the interview, like, this is a long form podcast.
Yeah, I know.
You can give like more than a one answer, and he was like, all right, and he started elaborate. Like you could elaborate a little bit.
So what's your take on the JQ? Well,
it's just like this thing,
It's this thing, like I read in this book once by Kissinger, like.
All right, so I'm enabling all of the Molyneux stuff regarding.
By the way, rest in peace, Vault.
Yeah, rest in peace, Rip and Pepperoni.
He had the AIDS. That's what he had.
Victor Pross here, Anarcho. D-food for Rustling Jimmy, so Russell Jimmy's I shall. The Young Lean Hotline. It was talking about stuff on Molyneux and defooing. This was like right before the whole shitstorm happened with the copyright stuff.
Do you want him shot?
My favorite joke was like Stefan Molyneux was like, would you want me shot? Okay, bad example.
Okay, bad example.
Okay, I can't have that video up because it was removed.
The best one's that, bro, you don't like my left nutsack.
Well, if you think about ball sacks all day, you have bigger things to worry about. Well, I think about tits all day. All right, here we go. Theramini Kittywopolis. Of course, I have to re-enable that one. Rest in peace, Kittywopolis.
Is that a real? Oh no, that's your cat, isn't it?
Yeah, she passed away.
Ripping Ripperoonie.
Yeah, sad. Let's see. Oh yeah, I gotta expose Seth MacFarlane for stealing a joke from Primus.
Primus
sucks. Commercials don't violate the non-aggression principle, or commercials do violate the non-aggression principle. It's in all caps, so that
I didn't ask for this.
My videos about VTV were false flagged. Put that one back up. Oh, Justin Templar on Russia Today. Justin. Yeah, he was on Russia Today. Like he made a comment. Yeah. Oh, he personally wasn't, but they posted his comment. If you look, I just re-enabled it, so it's boom bust comments on Peter Joseph's appearance featuring Justin Templar. It's on my channel. You should be able to find it. Oh, the Starbucks fake hands.
I think he got attacked by Laughing Witch, didn't he, at one point, or somebody else?
Stefan Molyneux gets the Zeitgeist movement.
So it's just all the Molly memes, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Sam Cedar does another episode. Do we
Steven Crowder
or something like that. Oh, my YouTube poop of Brian Brushwood.
I used to watch a website called spill.com, and he used to be a guest on there quite a lot. Have you had a Double Toasted?
No. What is Double Toasted?
It's a film review / shooting the shit kind of YouTube channel.
Oh my!
And that's one of the many successor sites to Spill.com. And Brian Brushwood was on that before he was famous. He was quite edgy.
Oh yeah.
Especially with a guy called, Jason, the guy who he's done some TV shows with. Didn't they do a TV show?
Oh, my YouTube poop of fucking Jason Unruh.
Oh god, that Maoist.
Enable. I love the 80s. Oh yeah, of course. I love the 80s. I lol the 80s. The YouTube poops I did of the I love the 80s show.
I'm surprised there never was that 80s show or something.
Rest in peace, Cardinal Beer. What is it? Cardinal Beer Juice. He hated RuPaul the most.
I don't know who this guy is.
You don't remember Cardinal Virtues?
Not really.
Federalist Films. The fuck other names he used to go by? He was like big. He was like friends with the Skeptical Heretic.
No.
Fat guy used to drink all the time. Had like a little bender head next to his desk. He was always drinking. Became an alcoholic SJW, but he used to be a Republican.
Oh! Wait, I know who it was. Was he called Say Beach at one point?
No, that was his friend though.
I may have met the guy, but I don't remember him.
Oh God. Hey,
Cardinal Virtue.
Big dumb fat cat. Is your microphone working or is it broken?
Bruh. Like I remember we used to call Say Beach like a drunk Vietnam veteran or something.
Wait, when will you name them, Jim? Who are you talking about? Name who?
Yes, name who.
Oh, my YouTube poop of Nano Chad.
There's a YouTube poop of Nano Chad?
Yes. I'm republicing.
Oh, Danny was right. There is that 80s show.
Yeah, there wasn't that 80s show. But that's not what I was talking about. It was I Love the 80s, which was a show on VH1.
Yeah, I know.
Where they had like a bunch of celebrities come on and be like, "Oh, do you remember Slinkies? Oh, everyone had a Slinky." So I made a YouTube poop of that show.
I don't think it looks very, that 80s show, it doesn't look very 80s.
No, it wasn't that good either. It only ran for a little bit. I think they're actually doing a 90s one now.
Oh,
Why
God.
don't you talk about the January 6th thing?
Actually, they look far more early 90s than they do 80s.
Look, I'm so sad that a lawn chair got knocked over at the Capitol building. That was so devastating for this country. It was so devastating, and it's so, and they should be definitely locked up for the rest of their lives. They
9/11.
They unhooked one of the velvet ropes. Just savages. like what is wrong with these people? There's people right now that are saying that the January 6th insurrection, which is just a bunch of fucking retards, QAnon retards walking around taking selfies, that it was worse than 9/11.
9/11.
9/11.
Yeah, like it's so dumb. It's like last I checked, there wasn't people like jumping from the Capitol building to their death because it was either that or falling to their grave in a fiery pit of hell. Like I didn't recall any of those. I didn't recall.
Sounds like working for Apple in China.
Yeah, the only thing that happened was a cop shot a lady.
Yep. Probably unprovoked.
And all of the like the people who were like mad about all of the shootings that got major stored, like, oh, cops are bad, ACAB, and then cop shoots an old little white lady.
Oh well, she did try and
she was a hero. She was a hero.
Well, I was thinking on the left's reaction was like, well, she did try and jump through a window. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, he could have just whacked her on the head.
I have heard libertarians talk about it, but like, what's there to talk about other than there was nothing to talk about? The thing that's to talk about is that there's a bunch of people right now that are in jail, probably indefinitely, who the worst thing that they did was they showed up and they took a selfie at Nancy Pelosi's desk.
I love the picture of them all like cowering in fear. It's like, you cowards. These people aren't going to do anything.
And the worst thing about it is like there's a photo that goes around all the time of outside of the Capitol building where like it looks like there's fires going on and it's all Photoshop. It's not real. And they always use that photo and it's like it's not real. It's not even a real photo.
Probably a troll photo, wasn't it?
And I think the reason why libertarians aren't talking about it is because there's two things that are happening right now that are I think are far more important. Is one, you have the Kyle Rittenhouse case, which is like very important for Second Amendment and self-defense law right now. Like if that fails, that's going to be a devastating blow to the Second Amendment. And it's also going to be a devastating blow to self-defense cases, especially if it is used as precedent. The other issue is like there's this thing called COVID, which is locking everybody in their house right now, especially in like in Australia. And
we're Coof brothers, aren't we?
It's being we're Coof brothers.
Everybody needs a coffee.
So I have not been following this case. There's a case ongoing right now. I'm still watching the day 5. I'm still watching the day 5 stuff. Dude, the holy fuck. The prosecution is like not doing a good job.
No, they're doing terribly.
No. The January 6th stuff, the people that are in jail right now is a big deal, but I think other people, it's all about priorities. And I think,
I mean, isn't the main like songwriter from Iced Earth in jail over that? John Schaefer, is it from Iced Earth? Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking stupid.
He didn't even do anything. He pointed at people really assertively, and he got arrested.
And they keep trying to like. Donald Trump has like denounced it multiple times, and they keep going like, "Oh, he started it. He started it because he said these things on Twitter." It's like, how many times do we like always go like Republicans are guilty for what like the Gabby Gifford shooting because they put a target on Arizona, in a meme picture to try to say like these are the areas that we needed to focus on voting, which. Jared Lee Loeffner was not a Republican. If anything, he was a zeitgeist movement guy, but not even really. He was just a fucking lunatic who couldn't tell the difference between his dreams and reality. Like he was just a lunatic. He had no affiliation with Republicans whatsoever. But like we blame them for that. But then like there's multiple times where like Democrats would say something similar or even worse. Or even straight out go fucking shoot some people, and we don't go like, oh well, obviously, Bernie Sanders had something to do with the Washington shooting. Yeah, it's like it's a clear double standard, and the media loves it.
Meanwhile,
so is the prosecution doing badly intentionally so that they can? So is the prosecution doing badly intentionally so that they can say that Rittenhouse only got off because of a shitty prosecution? No, I think the prosecution is just incompetent. So there was things that the prosecution were doing that are just like well-known plays, like in the case of Belch, what's his name? The fat guy.
I don't know.
The fat guy who was with him that night. They were doing this thing called running the clock, where they were asking pointless, dumb questions that go absolutely nowhere. And the reason why they were doing that was because they wanted to run the clock out so that when the prosecution was going to go, or the defense was going to go on cross, that they didn't have enough time to do the stuff that he wanted to do. Unfortunately, they didn't realize that one of the questions that they would ask would be like damning. And you can tell like by the expression on what the fuck is his name? The prosecutor, the main prosecutor. You can tell like his face dropped right when he said that. And what he said was, he was like, did he say anything to you guys? He said, well, yeah, he said that if I catch any of you guys out tonight, I'm going to fucking kill you. And he was like, oh, fuck. Did he say this to Rittenhouse too? And he was like, well, Rittenhouse with us. He said it to a group of us. So yes.
Oof.
And you can tell his face dropped. And there was even the prosecutor was like, objection, Your Honor. Is he going anywhere with this line of questioning? He's been going on for 2.5 hours. Yeah. So I don't think he's just throwing the case. They're not sending their best.
No.
And to be fair, the defense is not actually doing a great case either, but
no.
The evidence is so overwhelming that they're not even objecting where they need to object. A lot of the times, like there was a lot of times where they were leading the witness that they were not objecting. But because it's like, why would you object? Why would you want to object to a lot of the stuff?
Yeah, just let them run their mouths.
Yeah, because you had McGinnis, who was very obviously sympathetic to Kyle. You had Belch, who was like there that night, who witnessed Rosenbaum being violent and threatening violence against them. It's like, why are you even bringing these people on? Like, are you fucking retarded? And they're just trying to run the clock. It seems like a lot of the times they're running the clock. And so they brought on Belch and they thought like, okay, we're going to get this guy to come on and say that, you know, that Kyle was ill-equipped and whatever. And it's going to be great because we can waste everybody's fucking time because we're only going to be in this trial for 2 weeks. And if we can just waste enough time and whatever. And then after that happened during cross, they got him to fucking, they got him to say even more stuff about the threats of violence. And then the immediate thing that they did right afterwards was try to discredit him. They tried to discredit their own witness immediately afterwards. So I don't think that they're throwing it. I think they're just doing a very bad job.
I only have one reaction to that.
I think he spent more time.
So he.
Hey, no, we can't say restarted. We can't say. Yeah, we can't say redacted on this show because YouTube.
We can't say repossessed.
Yeah, we can't say that. It's not allowed on YouTube. I don't want to get.
It's not good. It's not gooder.
No. And by the way, I think that even if he does get convicted, I think that there is if it goes to appeal, which it will, that because the FBI had hid information from the defense, that they could get the case overturned.
Oh yeah, I reckon.
I'm super white pilled, super white peeled.
The judge doesn't seem like an activist judge. I think they got the luck of the draw with the judge because you never know who you're going to get.
Yeah.
You could get an activist judge who's like a commie, or you could get someone like him who seems pretty decent. Like he doesn't even like some people were complaining, oh, he's doing what the defense should be doing. It's like, well, they don't need to do anything.
Yeah. And the video that came out, the prosecution thinks that that's damning for Kyle, and it's not. It vindicates him because it actually shows Rittenhouse trying to ambush him. It's not a good look. I think the prosecutor came into the case going like, oh, we can prove this. And then more evidence. Yeah.
Meffy. You want to say hi?
Hi. Look right there.
Oh, hi.
Meffy, look up there. Look. Face the other way. She wants a kiss.
Aww.
Aww.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, kisses. Yeah.
She's looking bigger. Is it just me?
Yeah, she got a little bit fat when she came here.
Aww.
She's a little bit. She's a little fat cat.
Little tubby cat.
But we've been working on a diet, huh? One scoop of food a day and a little bit of treats, huh? Yeah, and sometimes you get a French fry.
Has she got resting bitch face or something?
Yeah, she's old. When the cats start to get a little bit old, they get real resting bitch face. She's getting it early. Yeah.
So she's not actually that old, is she?
No, she's I think she turns 4 this year.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah. Or next year. Yeah. But I got her in November.
So. Meffy's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, even Meffy's bigger in Texas. I get a little bit lightheaded when I'm aroused because I got bigger too. Ooh woo. So yeah, you didn't know that there was a Nano Chad YouTube poop. I'll post a link in it.
Apparently, Danny sent you some clip.
Where did he send me a clip on?
In DMs.
Oh yeah, this one.
Methy.
Oh, this is another one.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him.
Right, I'm now going to see the Nano Chat thing.
Okay, I'm gonna play this clip, the audio at least. Oh god, everything's lagging when I'm streaming.
You pointed your gun at him.
Is that him?
Advanced on
Yep.
him with your gun. Now your hands down.
He does look like it, actually.
Then he fired. Right?
Correct.
Oh shit! That's it.
Wait,
could
hold
be
on, real quick. Hold on, this is insane. Hold on.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him with your gun. Now your hands down, pointed at him.
He turned me on.
Advanced on him.
Oh, sorry.
Your gun. Now your hands down, pointed at him. Then he fired. Right?
Correct.
Oh shit!
Oh,
That's it.
Directed
That's
verdict. Directed verdict on all the murder charges.
oh
Kyle
my
knows.
god.
Yeah.
Directed verdict on the murder charges.
He just exhaled. Kyle oh, he looks like he's gonna cry.
How do you not acquit after that?
Oh wow, this case is over.
What's just happened?
So the defense attorney is asking Gruber, which was his name, or no, what the fuck is his name? The guy with the gun, the guy that got shot in the arm with the gun.
Rittenhouse? Oh,
No.
I don't know. Forgot his name.
Gage something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Gage something said
12 gauge.
so the defense said like, so it wasn't until you attempted to grab his gun, you aimed your gun at him, did he attempt to shoot you? And he says that is correct. There you go.
QED.
QED. So I'm gonna play it one more time. So hold on.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced
Okay, so it wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced towards
on
him,
him with your gun. Now your hands down, pointed at him.
and your hands now down, gun pointed at him,
Then he fired.
that he fired, right? Correct.
Correct.
Oh shit! That's it.
Yeah, that's Ricada, by the way. The background, which Ricada Law is fucking great. Which I'm gonna play a clip of Ricada for historical context.
You doubled down and got double retarded. You got super stupid on your own.
And one piece of advice that I did get from him.
Stop being fat.
So yeah, I think this case is pretty much over now. Because I think the only one that they're going to have to try to prove something on now, because I haven't been following today, so and I'm still not done with the rest of Friday, is going to be Huber, and Huber was the one that tried to hit him with the skateboard. Which, by the way,
he got a shot, right? Yeah,
like
he died.
The one that was in question, right, in terms of like public perception, the one that was in question, like really in question, was the first one, because the first shooting is the reason why people were coming after him the second for the second and third shooting. So the a lot of it really rested on whether or not Kyle Rittenhouse was acted in self-defense for that one, because if he was the aggressor in that case, then it could have been argued that it was justified for these people to try to relinquish control of the gun from Rittenhouse, who was an active shooter, right? But it's pretty clear now that Kyle Rittenhouse was ambushed per that video that was released by the FBI. That he was not only was he being chased, he was saying "fuck you" and was lunging towards him during the time of the gun. That this was premeditated. That he was coming after him. That he was going to ambush him for the gun. So there's and now they're talking about putting Rosenbaum, who was the first person who was shot. So they're talking about bringing Rosenbaum's girlfriend on. The prosecution wants to bring Rosenbaum onto the stand, which is fucking stupid because they're gonna open up the door to be like, okay, so why was, you know, you're gonna ask her questions like, so how long have you been together? Are you guys living together? Oh, you guys aren't living together. Why aren't you living together? A court order? What could that be for? Why don't you explain the court order why he couldn't live with you and your child? He did what to children? Oh, that's terrible. So tell me, why was he carrying a hospital bag that night? Was he at the hospital? Oh, he was at the hospital. That's kind of interesting. This hospital, which also has a psych ward. Why was he at that hospital that night? Oh, he was in psych. Really? Can we explain why he was in the psych ward? He seemed not to have.
Makes you think.
Yeah, and not only that, but Rosenbaum was at the hospital, right? He came out of the hospital and he shows up to a Black Lives Matter rally. Obviously, he was protesting for the awful shooting of Jacob Blake. While he was there, he was also calling people the N-word at a Black Lives rally, a Black Lives Matter rally. He clearly was there in solidarity with the protesters, right? No, he was there to fucking riot. He saw an opportunity to fucking riot. He's mentally unstable. He's a fucking convicted child raper. He has like, I think he also was a domestic abuser against his girlfriend. I think that was one of the reasons why he couldn't live there as well. So like, the guy has some clear mental issues. He was there being violent the whole time. He was threatening violence against a lot of people there who were trying to stop the violence of the protesters. He was lighting fire. He was an arsonist. He was a rioter in every sense of the word. Like, there's no justifying like what's going on with Rosenbaum at all. And so now that case is done, so the other case now is like, okay, was the actions that happened afterwards self-defense? Well, yeah, they were all chasing him. There was a bunch of people chasing him, screaming, get him, throwing rocks at him, attacking him, kicking him, jump kicking him while he was on the ground, still attacking him while he was on the ground with skateboards, jump kicks, and a gun. And he shot only the people, which is kind of great. Like, he had that kind of trigger discipline that he only fired at the people who were actively attacking him. So he shot at Jump Kick Man, didn't hit him, at least as far as we know. We don't know who Jump Kick Guy was at all. He shot Huber, which is the guy who hit him with the skateboard, and he shot Gage, who just now admitted in court that it wasn't until he came upon him, gun aimed at him, and trying to take away his gun, that he didn't fire until he did. I think this case is just a fucking giant waste of everyone's time and money. It really is. It's a giant case, time and money.
Yeah, I agree.
So thank you, Danny, for showing me that clip. And I'm going to post the clip.
That Kyle loses if this is like a show trial.
I'm going to post the link in the chat. And
well, I can't imagine him losing this.
Yeah. Meffy is bigger in Texas. She's excellent. Yes, Meffy is excellent. She is annoying. So I like to have this door closed when so I have a bathroom, and the bathroom has 2 doors. The bathroom is where her litter box is. Right, Meffy? That's where your bathroom is. That's our bathroom. Yeah. So I had this door closed. The other one was open. And she wanted to get into the bathroom. And so she stood at this door, the one I have closed, because I don't want the air conditioner to be bad audio. She was standing at the door like, no, I can't get in. It's like, you fucking idiot. Go around. That's my cat. Yeah, I'm so happy. Yeah, this case is going well. Which, by the way, a lot of people will be like, well, Rittenhouse was a fucking bootleg. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to hang out with Kyle Rittenhouse. It doesn't seem like he seems like a kind of impressionable boomer con wannabe kid, thin blue line. Like, who cares? But that doesn't matter. Like, if this was a communist who was getting attacked by a bunch of right wingers, I'd still defend him. Just on the base of, I'd be like, but he's a piece of shit. I don't think Kyle Rittenhouse is a piece of shit. I just think that he's not someone that I would fucking like to hang around too much with, especially the thin blue line stuff. I'd be like, okay, but that doesn't mean that, okay, he has an ideology I disagree with. Therefore, it wasn't self-defense. Actually, someone could make the argument that communists don't deserve or aren't humans.
You could argue that could well be the case.
Yeah. But yeah.
God, I can't believe that's what Nano Chad looks like.
But that's not what he looks like anymore. He actually looks very different now.
Yeah, he looks a bit bigger, shall we say.
Yeah, he says he laughs when he looks at himself back in the day. Like, compared to how he is now.
This could be you with hair. I've never seen you two in the same room.
Oh yeah. I was like, I'm no longer the alt account of Nano Chat. I'm now the alt account of Every Thought. And I did a little crossing out picture. Like, all right. So other videos I need to public. My Obama video. Obama is the man for the judge. Smoking Etsy. Which that video is fucking, that channel is fucking weird. It's like this autistic kid who wanted to start smoking. And so when he turned 18, he started smoking.
You can smoke at 16 in this country.
And he does reviews of like cigars and pipe tobacco and hookah. And it's like, what the fuck?
Hookah.
He's like, and he always goes like, hi everyone, it's smoking. And he always messes up his name. He used to always mess up his name.
Wait, is he the one with the bong?
No.
That nearly kills him? Was that someone else?
No, just look up Smoking Essie 777777777 on my channel. You'll find it. Or Shitty YouTube Poop. You'll find it. Shitty YTP.
I think I've seen this guy before. Oh god, he looks exactly like you think he would as well.
Yeah, like he like there was a picture in the background of like it looked like a really haphazard like child drawing, and it was in a frame. And it's in behind him, and I'm just like, why do you have that fucking framed?
What's it called? What's the YouTube poop?
Smoking Etsy. Just type in Shitty YTP and you'll find it. I just made it public, so
can't see it. I'll just go on your thing.
Shit Zeitards say.
Jim Jeebus.
William Milton Cooper exposed. Which, by the way, that's if you know anything about William Milton Cooper. That was when I was really into conspiracy theorists. That was the guy I used to listen to, and he's freaking crazy. He's Kookaburra.
There it is, smoking. I found it. Yeah, let's have a look.
It's my video about light bulbs. So I don't know if you've heard this. There's this light bulb in a firehouse, I think in Connecticut or some state. I don't remember. But that it's been going on for 100 years. It's more than 100 years. It's called the Centennial Light Bulb. And it's well over 100 years now, because it was like 100. It turned 100 when I first heard about it, like 12 years ago or something. Anyways. So, and it's been going on for 100 years, and people always point to it like, look, this is proof that, light bulb manufacturers, make their light bulbs not last very long, and it's a big conspiracy, and there's like this cartel that made it so like light bulbs can't be used like that anymore. And there's some truth to it, and there's some falsehoods about it, and it's not entirely true. There's some elements of truth to it. So there was a cartel of light bulb manufacturers that got together and set up standards for light bulb. And there was two things that they were looking for. It's one, like, yeah, there was a profit motive. There was a little bit of a profit motive. But the other fact was that people were using carbon filament. And carbon filament produces a lot of heat and not a lot of light. And the problem with that is electricity. Like, you're wasting a bunch of electricity when you do that. And if you use tungsten, you're going to produce more light and less heat. But the downside is that the tungsten light bulbs don't last nearly as long. And one of the other things that kind of factor into it is the turning off and on the light bulb is what really kills a light bulb. If you have a tungsten light bulb and it just stays on, like, that thing could last a very long time, not 100 years, but very long time. But the fact that you turn the light bulb on and turn it off is what kills the light bulb, because it's basically causing the metal to contract and expand. The Centennial light bulb never turns off. It's always on. I think they had a power outage once, and then they ended up buying a battery backup for it. But for all intents and purposes, it's been consistently on for 100 years. If you do that, it's not going to constantly expand and contract. It's just going to stay hot the whole time. So that's why the bulb is be able to stay on that long. But the whole thing kind of breaks down when you realize that all these bulb manufacturers voluntarily started making things like CFLs and LED light bulbs. There was no government mandate that made them do it. They just decided to do it. And then government mandates came later and was like, oh yeah, we're going to move all over to these, and started banning the incandescent light bulbs. But they were already making those before that happened. Those things last, I think, CFLs, they last a lot longer. I don't know how much longer, like I think like a couple of years or something. And then LEDs last like 5 years or more. So why are they making these things if they're so much worse? Because people want to save money. Yeah, because people know that they don't have to replace them as much. Their electricity bills are going to be lower if they use those instead of incandescents. Where's the conspiracy on that? Now, you could say like, well, they make the LEDs they make the LEDs fail more, but whatever. Yeah, things are going well for me in Texas. Or hopefully they're going to start getting more gooder soon. Hopefully I get this new job that's going to pay more, and then I'm going to take my current job and move it just one day a week, and then work full-time 12-hour shifts at another place 3 days a week. That's the plan. Let's hope I can keep that plan. Ray Kurzweil video debunking the Zeitgeist movement. Oh, so there was this Zeitgeister who made a video talking about how there's like this conspiracy to, you know, like he had like this, what is this called? It's called memory metal, nitinol. There we go. I actually called like a bunch of nitinol manufacturers back in the day, because I was asking questions about it. And it was going to make a video about it. Then I ended up like, well, it's kind of a waste of my time. But so there's this thing called a nitinol engine, which you basically take this memory metal and it goes into hot water and expands the metal, and it makes the spring expand, which pushes a motor. And then that ring goes back down into a cold water and it contracts and it sends it back over to the other side. And it just constantly makes like a loop. So this motor is constantly running, and they're like, we can get like free energy out of this thing. All we need to do is just give it hot and cold water. And it's like, yeah, but you're going to use energy to heat the water and cool the water. Where does that energy come from? Dumbass. Like
science.
Yeah, like you fucking idiot. Yeah, but thank you, Jesus Freak. Yeah, everything's going well. Hopefully it'll get more gooder. So anyways, I made a video about that. Like, you fucking idiot. Anything about Voice of Reason, I'm not going to put back up. The Zeitgeist stuff, I'm probably only going to...
You know that name? Ironic.
Oh, Tom Woods talking about Native Americans.
Was it spicy?
Well, sort of. What he's actually saying is like, look, like anybody who says that the Native Americans were like these environmentalists who daintily touch the ground are wrong. Like, the Native Americans are people. And for you to try to make a claim like they're some like these noble savages, that's actually a racist claim.
It is.
There were different tribes. They had different values, and it all depends on what tribe you are. Some of them were really good environmental stewards. Some of them were really bad. Some of them did like slash and burn agriculture, but the ones that were good about that stuff were the one, but they did it for the opposite reasons of what you would expect it to be. It wasn't because they thought that the ground was sacred and we had to take care of it. They were like, no, if we go out and like kill a bunch of wildlife, or if we just go out and, you know, kill a bunch of them today because or because if we went out and slaughtered them all because we thought the sun god was going to, you know, resurrect them all, or if we went out there and slaughtered them all because we thought that if we don't, that the neighboring tribes would kill them all and then we would have nothing, then we're going to run into an issue where there's no food. So what they did is they said, okay, your tribe can hunt in this area and your tribe can hunt in this area. And, you know, everybody, and that way we won't fight over each other's, you know, food stuff. That's how they were good environmental stewards, because they would know that they couldn't go out and hunt all of the buffalo in their area, because if they did, there wouldn't be enough for next season. So they were really good environmental stewards in that sense. But the whole like, oh, we only daintily touch the land, that came from a poem that was written by a screenwriter in the 70s about what he thought Chief Seattle would write about in his speech in Seattle, or in speech, some whatever. But he wrote it, and he wasn't even talking about like land in general. He was saying like, this specific area is where our ancestors were buried, and this area we're gonna make sure that, you know, nothing ever happens to this particular area because it's the burial ground of our ancestors. He wasn't talking about land in general. So yeah. And he, like the rest of his life, he went around the country and was like going like, I wrote that speech. That's not what I meant for that speech to be used as. Stop using this speech. And like, I guess even when he went to church, in his own church, the pastor got up and said, as Chief Seattle once said, and he was like, oh my God, I can't even, no.
No, stop.
Native
I didn't say
Americans
it
are the
like
real
that.
racists. Look, everybody in those days were racist, including the Native Americans. Like, it's,
well, what's changed?
I mean, yeah, because if you can imagine, like, for thousands of years, the only people that you and your people ever knew of your own people, and then some paleface shows up with a bunch of boomsticks, you're gonna be like, fuck those guys.
This is my boomstick.
And of course, when they show up here and they see a bunch of brown people not even riding around on horses, and they haven't even figured out the wheel yet, they're gonna be like, fuck these people. Of course it's gonna happen. They don't know no better.
Fresh meat, lads.
Fresh meat, lads, yeah. So why I don't support the Zeitgeist movement and the Venus Project, a video that probably Danny commented on 10 years ago and said I was an idiot.
Really? Is there a story behind that? I need to know this.
Yeah, Danny.
Was Danny a Zeitgeist movement?
Yeah, he was a Zeitcard.
Wow.
Fun fact.
Cringe.
I
nearly was. I nearly was at that time, you know. Because I watched the film around about 2010, 2011, something like that. Because one of my mates was a bit of a Zeitgeist tard for a while. Right. He was like, dude, mate, you've got to watch it. You've got to watch it. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll watch it. And I thought, okay, it was interesting. Watched the second one, and I was like, this is not as good.
My channel is now restored. Long live the Jim Jesus. By the way, go subscribe to my backup channel just in case.
Yes.
Not Jim Jesus, in case. So if I get another strike, all the videos are coming back down, and then I'm going back to that channel. I'm not even going to waste time with that. But I think it should be fine, because I was actually going through and being like, okay, I remember this video. I remember what I said in this video, and I think that could be misconstrued by someone nefarious to go. And I have a feeling that the person that's going after me, I have two ideas. I don't think it's a communist. I don't.
Is it libertarian?
I think it's a former alt-righter. I have my suspicions. I'm not naming names because I don't know. They could be innocent, and I don't want to go after people, and I don't want people like pissing on them, going like, "Oh, Jim said that you did it." Like, no. I said I don't know. I either think it's that, or I think it's some sycophant of a propertarian, the Propertarian Institute of Kurt Doolittle, not Kurt Doolittle himself. But because I know I got a lot of them really ass mad because I made a video and a lot of them were like really hating on it when I made it. And then afterwards, Kurt Doolittle pissed himself. And then I was like, ha, told you so. And they're mad about that. Oh, it was Goldfang. It was him the whole time. Oh, you. Oh, you. I have not watched is Tom Wood's 2000 episode up yet? I want to see it because I want to see what happened with that guy getting fucking body slammed. The one that was mad about Michael Mouse wearing a mask.
Remember when he dressed up as the Question for Dave Rubin's show?
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Have you not seen that?
Oh, the one where he's wearing the mask where he couldn't see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So funny.
Let's see. Yeah, I want to see that. This specific area. Great time to jump in. This specific area right here around my face. Yeah, he liked the movies when he was younger. Racism a thing was before it was defined as racist. Yep. It's me. I'm the villain. Like, the person sounds it's going to have to be communist. That's a real problem. I don't know. Like I've had a communist flag my channel before and try to lie about it, and I caught him. Red Scare TV. I'll name him. I know it was him. Actually proved it was him. Kurt do a little tinkle. Hey there, pee-pee pants. Poopy pants. I'm glad you're dead. Where's my... I'm so bad with my soundboard when I'm live streaming because I'm like doing like 10 other things. There we go.
I'm glad you did.
Hope we don't get struck for that.
I'm glad you did.
So yeah, now that my channel's restored, we'll see how long this lasts before maybe a Doolittle and a former alt-writer or a former alt-writer get ass mad and start trying to fucking take down my channel again because they're lame. They want my channel in the same position as their movement. Dead.
9/11. Do a little tinkle.
9/11.
Why can't Danny come on?
Danny can't come on. He can jump in the. He can jump in the chat.
Jump in the chat, you Kiwi.
Yeah,
bastard.
just jump in any chat, and I'll drag you in if you can't get in. I think you can get in.
He's in Virginia, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's in Virginia.
Virginia. Not far from. Well, I mean, it's probably quite far from Texas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite far from Texas. It's a bit of a drive. Oh, I thought he was saying that he wanted to hop in.
Oh no, I was asking him to come in.
Yeah, he's probably still getting set up. Because it took me a while to do my first stream when I got here. Rittenhouse prosecution after witness Gross Kreutz admits that he only shot the gun after he drew his gun on Kyle. Oh, it's so good. So good. I'm so happy for Kyle. I hope everything is fine with him. That case is so important. Another case that's important is the January 6th cases. As much as I hate fucking QAnon and how stupid they are, I'm so mad that they're fucking gonna probably spend the rest of their lives in jail for fucking taking a selfie at Nancy Pelosi's desk. I mean, the horror.
Insurrection. Technically, isn't that not constitutional what they did? Technically,
I don't know. Look, here's the thing. Like, on one hand, I'll have like leftists go like, "What do you need a gun for? You're gonna think you're gonna take on the federal government with your little pea shooting AR-15s when they have tanks and drones and nukes? You're so stupid." 10 minutes later. Oh my God, our government was so close to being overthrown by these insurrectionists who were completely unarmed on January 6th. It was worse than 9/11.
9/11.
It's like, pick one narrative and then stick with it. You fucking redacted. Or in the immortal words of, for historical context.
Okay. I fully understand what you're trying to tell me. I'm telling you, no. Hell no. Okay, no. Fuck yourself, retard.
Oh, nearly said it.
Yeah. So I'm going to wrap this up here. I may live stream tomorrow. I might have to do some stuff with my car and getting it registered in Texas, which I haven't done yet, which deadline's coming up pretty quick that I need to do.
Oh, all right.
So I'm going to wrap up here. Then I need to find out what I need to do. And then tomorrow, if I have time because I can't get my car smogged until I get the change or the service engine light on, which I think there's something wrong with my sensors, not so much wrong with my actual car, because it also tells me that my tire is flat and it blinks at me like your tire is flat. I'm like, no, it's not. I even checked my air tire pressure and it was fine. I was like, I just wasted 75 cents to have my air fucking tire, to put air in my tires, and it was fine. If it doesn't matter, Jim, it's a sacrament. So just entertaining the Capitol is a big deal, and you're not allowed to mention when BLM did it. Yeah. Well, look, January 6th was a mostly peaceful protest. If you look at the data, it was
not wrong.
Yeah, it was mostly peaceful. It's a mostly peaceful insurrection. All right, so I need to update my my outro video to update all the supporters, because it's been a while since I checked, and I had some people come on and I had some people leave. But either way, I'm going to play the outro, and I haven't seen it in a while, so sorry if your name wasn't mentioned or if it's no names at all. But anyways, Hail Nephi, Worms, Hail Satan, all that jazz. Worms.